Wednesday any Friday numre no so pepepe yensi nkonya yenhwe Ghana asem yembusa questions maw yembusa nkuntabuo yenkansem epemwa wa odi humu aye ebeba kai se vim lady beshiaw Monday Wednesday any Friday numre bia Egyaso Gyaso mame sheshe okay 101.7 FM vim lady Afia Pokuaa nie mienhia wiki any week bia more vim ewo okay 101.7 FM. I was having a good evening. Near Kwababa Egyaso Jumedie. You were live on OK 101.7 FM. Yeah, come on, I come be able to say aha, and I'll be all the election and issues analysis. I de ebema onyina. You from a vim lady Afia Pokuaa nene. Yeah, where a mebuno ewa Ghana ha. One contribution to Ghana free, fair, and transparent election because I feel where you po yempo. Yen to mean some constitution or a election year. Election so there, according to Professor Jampo, ne other political writers to say, it's us antimo research on my year. You can't Ghana pa, ye shares, yes, say, ye nyafa hudie no. Ghana, even the struggle for independence, Ghana a prani ya presi benya fa hudie no, a mebunu and a conye. And penny forward today, and no more journey, but a juma pa de. Oko America military terms on because the boots on the ground, a mebunu na ye. Enti uko party bi say CPP pa CPP mu definition of Melbourne ye be 50 plus no uko other political party say NDC ni MPP a enya sa na tie e Melbourne ye very active nanso aban bia ba mu a ntutu on the Fourth Republic here aye a battle between NDC ni MPP no o we aban bia ba na mpanifo won chendi na Melbourne de wo ma ye adwuma na aka akire but wo hwe efru amampani mahama abreso ba youth no nkasa very very active in terms of our buying, not in politics so but also under 1992 cry a share 1992 no Ghana ye san call democracy mo no e mebu ne ko e ma aban bia ba akonya so enti ye ton party paraphernalia say t-shirt ene de de tu ekwo mu num ne ade wo be ko party bia congress major political congress NDC MPP party for na ye adwuma no ye ko campaign room to room door to door aye campaign crowd we pe chairman we pe organizer we pe say aye party for boys ene ye party for girls ene ye ko we na no ade ane ne ade ni nyina ye party for girls party for boys and penny for we chire and we your strategy execution pa de aye mabunu no ene ye so between NDC and MPP Ghana pa ye can the story or the democracy of Ghana the Fourth Republic and ke mu abasobode kase na o say de mabunu. But say the make no I under President Mahama Abreso any who say a mebuno a transition from just being campaign materials or boots on the ground and now full soldiers afedi o ma abamu. Now unfortunately for a few ones on my penny Mahama more opportunity wo mo ba abamu no the problem they did ne say o man share dem good legacy. Enti a few ones o mo ba abamu o man penny Mahama ni o mbeye governance part of governance no omu benye edin bia Papa J because of June 4th na say omu di enti na me call Papa J akope reference from there Papa J kra kotu omu din babies with sharp teeth instead of leaving a good legacy say mo ye mabunu mo ye developmental politics amanyosema ekọ edim puntuo ba amanyosema Kenya nkofo amanyosema eboa na obi tinche ko say gosh minya yanka me politician no rather no edin omu benya babies with sharp teeth atenie ye be chaw ma won kasa wo be question won sa wo ma me na wo ana papa na wo na nyo omonko mpanifo ni bi so be ye mpani bone Papa J according to Papa J again osam omudin all the vote drafts mpani bone but ena make say you can't still go beyond just because the definition of a Melbourne contribution to Ghana democracy and the Fourth Republic it does not lie in Papa J enum enti Papa J flow be baby with sharp teeth kwa you can decide not to agree with him what that all right. Because again, come back to omunya a bemu opportunity under President Mahama. Even before that, under President EFS Mills. Before that, under President Kufuor, any President Rawlings, which was a Melbourne no bia na ye baby should serve it. Baby yes significant work. In fact, a Melbourne bia almost here under CDR. President Rawlings PNDC time and then the elders of NDC. In fact, the elders of MPP. President Kufuor he was under PNDC. Okay, you with President Rawlings. Where you make a class 6 months or say no, we disagree on political ideology. So that a Melbourne of yesterday are the elders of today. omo contribution any fapema ma to no nene ye nyina ye komu. But the critical issue is democracy under Fourth Republic 25 years. Ye call the next chapter of democracy. And the question is, mebuno no he no de Ghana echo. Now if you look at all the political literature, research materials, and before ya makojibu political science department, University of Ghana they gonna. Mebuno bebre, ya kan ya ma papa. Omo yes, omo na ye campaign. Omo na ko room to room, door to door. Na obi kwa presidential candidate, a candidate onye hute. Dabi obedu na wo refi President Mahama. Time no wa konyo okay Elvis free ankra. Before President Mahama ba be jira stage kra kasa. Eyezu. Mahama. Elvis free ankra na this time ba. And this guy started University of Ghana and started student politics. And started so yeah adwuma solid and Elvis free ankra or ye free mabununum akopani mu. But this is the growth rate. Before that, you be to say a year first a Lord come. Under President Kufuor beba be jina stage so ananadwa. Lord come, MPP, she. These are the people. And son as Samia Ukunum, any idea you know about find you or more rhythm and then Samia Ukunam ha, Nana B Nama, Uko and now they were NDC, the spokesperson of NDC, another youth. It's Melbourne idea and can Ghana the story, the history of Ghana, democracy under Fourth Republic. And can see a demo about somebody Melbourne. But it is this same Melbourne, young Kwabu Obi. Yan kanya sasem there be propaganda. Ye ni atem and penifo no be politics. One be can come mebunu bempe na ye. One be yes sir. So the question is any yeah 2020 general election December 7th no. E dey any mebunu contribution to Ghana democracy ene e dey akọ anim no. Don't forget say ene ya NDC amyeko na press conference. Abashi MPP aban pa say dream katashe ne proye de akananado buy or ye campaign be citizens not spectator oboa wanye hute wamo be launch a corruption tracker amobi ehun se wonye hwe wamo say nanado say green book ho asem obeka oboa ko hwesem no aba bedie campaign na ya start no but covid unim say Ghana ye yakodu 10,000 na it's as if say we have come back to normal obi enso hwe o obi enso covid no enne man kofo bi adwen kese say jaba covid kra na no politics na the covid ne ya na because make I say NDC ni MPP before you now start your campaign obi anam Chibani onam north Samia Oku enam north Nana B onam oti everybody is campaigning ubu so omo obi abeka chat na the covid ti won ka dem na ubahia na to December 7th aso so this issue ene na ebehia wan say why na enough work on corruption Mahama so obo no homodin and then another so obo no homodin and this is oboa onye hute we look at the corruption issue now I come back to your main issue about youth no any omo contribution but say the tie bi ampatcho fire because we have less than 6 months to elections unim say electoral commission and by the first electoral commission zoom mu ade say can a year friend say House of Chiefs after electoral commission so omumra no metie and consensus kwa nkofo raise on the petition abromo be seen from April. Yes, House of Chiefs actual letter kwa come electoral commission abudi womunkoye. We need to address that issue. By next issues ni among other issues trendy. Uko major website ni nyina peacefmonline.com, majoronline.com, Ghana web, any idea nyina you see all these stories trendy. EC submit legal basis for new register. Sana no assembly court EC court catch omo so omo fa enyina so anti omo yi voters register dada no. Edi a free requirement edi trodi no mu no isi akọ womo ene womo de aba we see atinga hia ani ebehu pa anti ene womo de ko we see the NDC so ade beko as their argument say womo so mpene so say yenyi voters register dada ni free mu people have said say in fact voters register no nko a ye free de enye and people have made reference to President Kufuor Assembly or kind say voters register remains the single most authentic document I did Ghana ni adanse here nti ade na ye free mu okay, electoral commission say, there 2 million is yes, your constitution is on organizing elections. I will maintain allowance for trainee teacher nurses if I win. President Mahama and what can it say? Same way, a big campaign issue power 2016. Mahama say, on what bad you could find yana. Say, allowance my teacher trainees and obetwaso. This issue there, teacher for the question. And MPP prime minister so asaya asem do abokra bam. Amwakuba and wakache executives say you are sacrificing dreams unfairly. Year Amwakuba and Wakeka MPP executives. MPP Prime Minister Adani Diabo na President Kufuor. What if you not the same way he whip? He whip pass on only MPP near Adani Diabo. Hey, na Abronya Kobo Diamu MPP for man carry na party candidates body have na mo say na obi baby I'm suspended for the way. Nkrofo abodua na no man kan na so you have no authority to talk about it. Cause you abonye nra ene so enye sa condemn ni mienu nyina. That issue is trending. MPP suspend members of mabodua no eno so wa ha ende efe ho. Mo na mo de mo ho mo pa mo nko the history of MPP nko ohini to mu leadership. Say ya na ye impose candidate na wo beko MPP omu lose majority of their seats in Greater Accra. Kwa MPP Central Region omu lose omu seats in fan Nti MPP munim history na munim de yema you will not be imposing candidates. Obisi oye wet ni seater. Mayan contest no. Oya na aso ye boga. Kapo. Why you adwuma contest your seat. Contest your seat. Na we the party na we na ye adwuma ni empese be contest na wan. Eno mo so omo ye adwuma parliament pa ma cheda man krofo enunu wo mase. Mumu ochama boaji de se krofo fire party. As a bay ye be se chichim ne sane ye di seat ni man krofo de. Asum drabin dia kofodia eno so say aya asem I just a man so say obi an taste ewom but the beauty of democracy is obi an choice umpe na akoto aba open na so ato aba ma no eno ano no MPP delegates return aspirants money over and to radi diabo we eno abo payado ye national youth organizer man NDC or how only NDC almost survive said diabo we di it will be explaining to us how NDC survived them. The NDC losing almost seat Central Region here. The biggest casualty to NDC in the last 2016 election, Central Region. The above Bebusa, Ebina TSC MPP Mono. I see some delegates of the governing New Patriotic Party in Nsuta Kwamai, Beposo constituency in Ashanti Region have rejected bribe amounting to 1,000 Ghana cedis, mobile phone and GTP clock. Yeah, ode muni ma mu kwata fo pankro say John first akoto say doctor akoto say primaries ye che TV ye che ntoma ye che mo bag mo de monya 1,000 mo say mo reject ya bodua wo pa koje be wu awia kata bai. This is Africa for you. This is the only place in the world that we say Tamamoto we interchange Mahama's brainchild handwork not Ekufuado ofosuko achi na okan say Tamamoto we ejuma wade emi ko jina suko twa video ka say started by Mahama continued by Ekufuado MPP for say hey omunti bi da mbe chemi awe no kra no so wo ho me one. Me having been born in Tema, I know the genesis of the Tamamoto we runabout into ubana and I say mama comparison Tatakwashi runabout you. Former President Rawlings Mabreso anu mu free power 2001. MPP buy President Kufuor time. Na NDC edika ma first saying contract ne dada $25 million. MPP buy no so mo boka ade no too much. And no test no mu review contract no mu re-award the contract no for $15 million. And MPP here Tatakwashi. Inti obi starting now by review now yeah why? Mama the sika na motor run about no. Nana do the sika na at the end of the day it's Ghana project. But somebody started in a Bible crack and say Polo Oduaba na Polo Gugu so Nyankopon e mani nyini. We should stop this dirty and unnecessary politics. And away na obi beche wari. Mahama started it Nana do awie roundabout at the end of the day meme waterman and one of you so case closed. Dede bebre ni ade. Wey Egyaso Gyaso. You are live on OK 101.7 FM. Me producers and Yera Isaac also do Nico Jo Damiado wom de now calculations we nyina na de banti me bana me fire. Na vim lady mu de munim squad that time chanka won de na kan kan de mo pe na Kojo Hansen na sound engineering ni nyina ma frema na try etum live ubetimi monitor Facebook OK 101.7 ho ubon details nyina ho no manya sa so a monitor wo OK page ni nyina so Instagram at OK 101.7 FM Twitter OK 101.7 FM na Facebook so OK 101.7 FM follow ya subscribe share like if our comment bra na nyina yenka ho ase from vim lady Afia Pokuaa se da kese enkoma panifo nyina wo mboa ya me discussion nyina de ebrem ho anum yera yaw owusu ado national organizer youth organizer Emma NDC amenyoko no and said they make an hwe Ghana political parties akese a omugina omna so omuye adwuma Emma Ghana no NDC ni MPP ene udi mu akotene pa na wagya ni dwuma nyina honom aba ama oboyen ama yetumi de nsem de abrem se de ba ye nyina ebehu se de Ghana yetumi eko yanim pepepe osan ye lawyer ni kase ma pa nti all the legal issues wo me in fact NDC enom koye central for share mo de niam bebre atoja fa corruption ene ade ebe ma opani kase acheche mo pani enwumei ye ma good evening ba cho se boko de na ebusuafo no ho ye corona da romanti raise your voice ma me na say mo afi me ma good evening you Mama, ama, and I am one. Say, let's see you, so go for Bobo, dear, one man. Obi dey do echi asan na o ba say o kasa men ko go so ti woni na o so be fire ave the avoni endism so opposition wa usika so ti ana o sheda ni pressure bia sa o abamu a ana ka o pressure but just a party boko there na press conference here amuye press conference upon press conference and the corruption there amuye what is the issue
issues now Second issue was the Pokuaa sometimes in present they can sound a bit pedestrian. I will be a car quench, sabi all casa. Now I was saying near 30 records in street, say, or say, in Green Book now, sabi projects now, what Jatum say, who cheer projects ni become. I see projects, fantasy projects, now projects, any baby. Until I was said, your date, sir, response, na rebuttal, never near the year, 2 years. Na obi biara otie biara na obi biara sabe their present kan ye no a man adwen ye ne na kakra no hu ba bia no corridor for instance terminal 3 project the san refer ne class ne ba ko e operate duty free shop e wa terminal 3 ho no ma president mama daroba ne
president
Kufuor on operate duty free shop no
o sa
me pa cho ai
ndc for na mo de man no
oh, there be terminal 3 and you see and on baby obi anu we no the man ba say ne ba operate duty free shop
sir
it say o say a fantasy project e bia na ne ba no or operate fantasy duty free shop any honomo so we needed to remind him. For instance, Rage Hospital COVID-19 by on the 3rd of March ye na ye hwe bi ye tie bi ye hu bi President Kufuor call Rage Hospital as one of the centers for COVID-19. And also, GD said, and also, one of the fantasy projects that all can was. Terminal 3, 3rd of March, as Ghana, prepare to fight COVID. No, or sign called Terminal 3. In the ABA, not Sabi, aware say in same Bibri about say he was misled. For instance, a Amari innovation project, he said, or sign an agreement, who say, who na, or parliament say, Chronobobi, air cosono. Response of the brain and say he was misled. Maybe a GD say, he's been misled by an Crawford. Because President don't try to one year. Because that is the impression he gives Ghanaians. It never said, "Nay, kind say, Terminal 3 no Koyano on the 3rd of March."
I say, be a no quani idea or can in totality say, Project Bebre Bar, much on Green Book. No, it's Terminal 3, the engineer who say, oh, be an engineer, any hot, and weapon, and
then a true challenge, a man sent Trophy by say. Your mind same show ni bi oba ye bia book ne ba ko so bia fa book no non-ship projects are listed wo mu no projects miensa say 9 and na artist impressions one o airport no me na wo ka say ho airport ye wie e wo ho no mo
amona mu wie ya na say President Kufuor do na be
say na book ni no na artist impression
okay
and no any bia be ka say na fantasy
okay
I mean no wo ka say na ebi ni aba project ni si ono
ho na wie ye
oh, and I'm saying the projects that just say projects now a fantasy.
Okay.
Any honomo. Exactly. Okay. I know honomo.
Okay.
Terminal 3. Now also artist impression because at the time I now a green book. Now the pictures are not available. Now yes suitable for us to put them in the green book. And then I know can say Terminal 3. The Baba it will pretty duty free shop.
And that's also about money to
I was like Ghana 40 family and friends in seminar year come.
Oh, family and friends and other President Mama by Nini be any nani be any Jumanya.
Is it the way I preach yes or no na by mu. Na yere enche post. Na yere enye we, na yere ye we no. Say ka say e be list here, e be chiro na bushafo bebre. Ya bebre ni mu poni say Jane Mensa. eye Kufuor yere ne office na ne ba oba kan amamre enye ntwa to so and I'm saying this on authority.
But it doesn't change the fact that Jemensa ne mo ye adwuma sa free more than 19 years na Jemensa any more political parties
but obekaya
you are aye no ma hu so ye Kufuor yere abusu eni
but obekaya in 2015 2016 yani aye severe ties NDC so obekaya on the ground said
not because ye Kufuor
on the ground said she was too biased towards against the NDC.
And then Jemensa Kroya na kofa Professor Nana Pokuaa ma ba mo obey moderator.
And I'm saying
she an NDC person?
In 2015 we had cause as a political party. Say any tunkwanta ya pai.
Not Jemensa IE.
But who was
your
the IE?
Issue was no, she's not IE.
Who was the IE?
Council workers on him say separate legal personality. An organization is not the person who formed it. Council.
Jemensa Afia, what is the gravitas of the IE?
And as IE Juma. You have a team that is working. Council, me go to wow law natural wo council. Say separate legal personality. We are aware.
Separate legal personality. But it means that most organizations are running a bit more ego. Clearly. Okay, you cut in case here. Even directors, shadow directors. So you name who was the brain behind the IE.
And I'm saying, I didn't know more opposition 19 years at Jemensa Juma. Man raising the issue that say on it a Kufuor relationship.
Oh, family and friends are buying us some American. And I make us say preaching a Kufuor we preach here. And then some okay, I'm not your opposition leader. That you will not to preach.
I'm it back to you, say.
A family and friend. I'm only citing an example. Say.
No, and
I'm saying a Kufuor did not lead the MPP for 19 years.
So whether or not Ayanire was immaterial,
it was immaterial. But as we speak now, and then Kufuor is president. And as president, while appointing Yiribusiani as electoral commissioner.
Now Charlotte said, "No, your mama down for."
Is he your family and friends?
Na friends,
maybe. Charlotte said was appointed to be the committee of NC. So that's what I say. And that appointment predates President Mahama.
But there were reports about so on close relationship.
But Rebecca Charlotte says started a legal practice from a Kufuor campaign. So that's what I say. Charlotte said had a personal relationship with the Kufuor better than President Mahama. So we will not equate. That is where she started a law.
Yeah, but the fact that she started there doesn't mean so no better relationship.
Clearly. For you to take me as your junior, you build a relationship with me.
Yeah, but baby, relationship is a bad relationship. It doesn't necessarily.
I don't want to believe that there was a bad relationship between Charlotte and
Sarah. Now you are going into innuendo.
No, but
any conjecture.
What we are saying is, as we speak today, Terminal 3, Kufuor and operating duty free.
I'll verify that.
There is no excuse to it.
Okay.
No credit.
Or duty free shop.
The only operating duty free shop. Remember, now no more yet.
Okay.
Anybody can take me on. So, but you see. The motorway expansion projects, a port expansion projects, no, a continuation of the port expansion.
That is so.
Which is a President Mahama legacy. It's Oga said.
No, but not necessarily no. When you say me to no. It started under President Kufuor Key 2 container terminal. We have phase 1
Jubilee
of the
terminal.
Port, Jubilee no, and a Key 2 came under one package. The first part of the expansion project under Benosu Mensa.
That
was the first part. And then the second part under President Mahama.
But
so the second part and President Mahama started.
And you see, if you never acknowledge, say, I buy me bitch at the Jumas. Obe kind of President Mills, N1. Obe 2 scano. Then the FSA or Commission N1. Not the President for about Hobi. And it was not just that project. And then you could pump gas oil from the Jubilee fields first time. Public acknowledgement of rural President Kufuor play. But who call now could say Obi projects or fantasy. Meanwhile, o budget how they to parliaments. Sika Wutia contractors. You are paying Mohammed's contractors. Mahama contractors.
Oh, okay.
If the projects were fantasy projects, it might be but you know what a fantasy project is. Keta Ports, our port being on ma, your appointed chief executive, and then the fantasy. And this is where the issues are. The Babon is a Ghana phone access. University of Ghana Hospital. It's still there for everybody to see.
That is
and then COVID-19, I say most important personalities, diplomats, on Munkoji treatment, the Bank Hospital, and several other projects. It's in the Offer Green Book now. Every project listed in the Green Book, 280 pages, no. Every project is physically there. So for a president, you have all these security apparatus under you, all these investigative powers. Now, who are to say Uchia contractor worker based on projects are NDC executing, and for you to make such pedestrian comments, is most unfortunate.
Most unfortunate, but the question is, the solution the amoya na most mobile a corruption tracker assessment. I'm on the bear assessing. Now this is the 4th year. I feel I'm assessing and
the corruption issue we have spoken on many occasions.
Yeah,
corruption.
Yeah.
I got 6 months to elections. The 2016 elections, one of the key ingredients you're fighting on the MPP campaigned on was corruption. And one of the things that Kufado about your catcher in 2017, so I plagiarized speech, no kind, I say, be citizens and not spectators. So I say, this is the president who oversaw the Ameri innovation deal. Say, the things President Kufado told us in opposition on Ameri. Anyhow, about your better committee, no, Emma Ameri funding or more. And that was the beginning of our problems. America say it was so corrupt. Obekaya, the Bridge Power Project, the biggest gas power project in West Africa. They even went to court on it to the extent that when the Italian Prime Minister, President Mills, the NPP sent a delegation to meet him to tell him, says, and for project, my name Basso, because it was corrupt. They even went to court. The NPP even went to court on that project. President Tukufado Kache in Asoba, Obe reviews our project. In the 3rd or 4th month of his presidency, Kokate sought for our project. They abandoned their court case. And now the corruption, now I'm saying, project, so they have no principles. And that is the NPP and President Kufuor. And in all this, the biggest beneficiary of our corruption here is President Kufuor. And we can prove it. Because you see, one, moving pin and bust. Oh, you know, you know, the then minister Wache Jakun set up committee to investigate. And I believe the who committee reports will be up to date as we speak to you today, almost 4 years down the line. 5 million, almost 5 million liters of oil like a ton. Not one cedi has been paid to government. So where is the money?
But committee report also say na oil ni bia ira 2015. Mo press conference and there. Ma amoso na mo kata money say NDC time oil na ira and there mo nka. Na mom 2016 there. The ira there mo beka.
Abena, I'm not aware of their working.
Oh,
being very honest. You mean
the committee chairperson? No,
I'm not aware. So maybe President
Kufuor or mama say information.
And I'm saying I am not aware.
2015.
I am not
aware.
And I'm saying Omar no more in 2015. Kakra Samoa was board chairman of BOST. He's the director of communications for the NDC. Are you available? Yenya Ewada was the chief executive of BOST in 2015. Are you available? A responsible government. Then yes, speculation and yeah, try. What are you waiting for?
Okay.
You have all these investigative powers, then I will train. But you see, because he himself is the beneficiary of corruption, over kind moving pain issue you buy. A DMB Baba app. We saw the spirited defense of Akufo-Addo himself trying to clear Alfred Obey, the then chief executive of BOST.
He was trying to clear him.
But he cleared him. To the extent that when the minister set up a committee made up of various agencies, within a week, the president came out to tell us he's gotten a report from the BNI. And now the BNI has exonerated Alfred Obey. And as Alfred Obey here, Bonipia, from the president's own mouth.
Now, what if there was a BNI report?
So I'm saying if there was a BNI report, did the BNI finish their investigations within 1 week?
But the BNI can't finish their investigations.
They can, but mind you, at the time at BNI and their investigations, now the sector minister are mandating people from the Ministry of Energy, people from Petroleum Commission, and then Alas and Tampuri, NPA, all these agencies to go into the matter and come out with a report. Omomo reports, and the BNI reports, a contradictory BNI for reports. So what does that tell you? That should clearly.
Honorable report, committee the report no contradicts
the BNI. The committee report contradicts the BNI report. Nobody saw the BNI report because the president told us the BNI needed the report. And that Alfred Obey was not guilty.
Okay.
But the committee's report found out you can associate the prohibited.
Okay.
So the two contradictions.
Okay.
And like I say, when you take almost all the corruption scandals and how in your see President Maclay, main Kaiwechi, deputy minister, and deputy minister of sports, you know information. Pious. Do we all admit?
Some investigation say Onya Bonibia.
Yeah, admit say when the journalists, so-called journalists, returned back, you sign on Mufi Australia or mobile. Somebody took them there. Up to date, who took them there? Why not did you music or because the people spoke? Yeah, TV.
Okay.
Why not do you but President Eduardo cleared him.
Adabina say my allegation specifically targeted.
I did not make those allegations.
Me
almost musika. Emma, this particular people.
By investigation, they say Papa
no. Boy, the Pious, the chief executive, no, former Agogo MP, a friend is saying. Kojoba.
Investigation reporting exonerating Omunina.
And Omobo praise me to the chief executive of BBB.
National Sports Authority said.
And you see, the people who were returned, they are premier facile evidence. Bonibia Koswo.
Okay.
And Omuna, man, I'm in Central, man, I'm going to be some money, and I'm kind of in it. But they were all cleared.
Okay.
Even on live TV, you know, I share. Question you tape. And then I coach in our courts. On the day he's guilty because he's not an appointee of the president. And no case question is facing prosecution. But to be so who no Jessica. Cromwell. And our step no. Cromwell. Western Regional Secretary of the NPP. And now step here by Galamsey Interministerial Task Force.
No Jessica.
No Jessica.
Sika for
Another step, no, but another give a narration to the tape.
The evidence must be admissible in court.
Announce gave a narration to the tape. And the narration is the same narration. And a question yantechi original court.
Question yantechi case on start to court.
Question yantechi has been moved to court.
And you have on prove evidence.
So and I'm saying and certainly I'm not saying question is guilty. But you see, Abaya the botechino, the boba.
Okay.
Same principle. If Kwesi is going to court, because for me, I've always had issues with how Anas investigations need to be.
Okay.
But if Kwesi is in court, and we saw him collecting money, and we saw Kakraba Cromwell, your friend is in Cromwell, also collecting money, how is Cromwell exonerated?
Na Kwesi the
only court. So it means the interministerial committee, you know, no this kana ebiso ekufu ado swana because it only that is the only definition now between Yama.
Say a question now,
and so I
don't think you are concluding.
And so why is he not punishing them? And in Sihonomo, so many other.
I wouldn't say penny the audio mate. Yes, what say no audio biakotum.
President Mahama, they said we know you're paying, you know, the non dear man.
President Mahama, the same thing.
Allegations when they found to President Mahama. So when there was even evidence on this fraud expeditions there, the car, even though it was brought to Ghana, was handed over to the presidential fleet and called President Mahama for one day. The car was given to the government of Ghana. And a man now say, "Yo, kung fu dun fu ya sign your story when we even lost power." But you know that story he broke it on the day of President Mahama. Mami, it was not that honor. Which was most unfortunate. Yes.
Maybe he didn't know.
Oh, massa. And you see, on Manasseh, yeah, sign Baba story say when the NDC lost power and we left. A call Flagstaff House. That Canada so as part of the presidential fleet.
And yet because breaking fourth story ninti.
No, but the day he broke the fourth story, the official documents, and that I like Manasseh for. Official documents are even stated say the car had been registered to the states.
At what point was it registered? That was an issue.
Car never Ghana no.
Mu yusu wie ansa na mo de ko kan state protocol.
But the car came to President Mahama as a gift.
But that was the issue.
That's
the issue.
And I know you've done the law.
You gift the state.
Yes, but you see, it is not President Mahama's fault. Okay. It was his ambassador then. Okay. Energy car. But when the car got to President Mahama, what did he do? He turned it over to the state.
I don't know one rejected. That was the principle.
But you see, when you are giving a gift, Obama, you're in a bar, Ghana. Obama, during President Mills' time, Ghana gave a gift to her or something, if I'm not mistaken. Odu in the States, Odu Americans, he handed it over to the States.
Oh, okay.
Obima will gift her. There is nowhere in our laws that says I reject it.
Okay.
But Ojia, so you're a public servant, you collect it and hand it over to the state, and it becomes state asset, state property. That is what the law is.
Okay.
So I don't know why start did they not ever afford expedition. But our people in the opposition, the NPP, they run with it because the President Mama ABB body. And he had done no wrong because he had followed due process and the procedures had been followed. So I say, but today, say to Akufo-Addo who I see there be a because on there he's not corrupt. Meanwhile, there are so many allegations. President Akufo-Addo cannot exonerate himself, and the clear one, the Ameri Assembly and the no matter how we look at the Ameri innovation deal, we saw the letter from Nana Santi to Parliament approving the Ameri deal. And what did the president come back to tell us? You call out a Kokoti said amount was outrageous. Ghana for 30 years who did His response was that he has been misled. So a president who is misled, and it is not just on that one occasion a president like I say he's been misled. Several occasions. And our Waka he's been misled. Our catch what pretty impression.
Council hang on. Na menko uni abema honum Nana B. And so youth organizer ma MPP make us say na make us COVID or no COVID no so nam campaign gidi ma MPP for say they never fit Vine on so na mo campaign Nana anwume ye mo adwo
o Afia mjuju miniaba
aha na ho ye de
twedi ampo adare ma odi nso ache anwume de wa na betimi atwe free tokuro bi ma ache
na o say me twe na yes COVID aba na o de ona motivate ye campaign no
oh there be won say enye Yet, you see, I know, none one mampany a buyer of Hannes and you say, you knew my yeeding now, first Nanka conferences near the day. Wakasa said, me to me have it. None will be me, for you say at least Nipa Bear 100, and I know all the to make sure say social distancing, how and Sunday Sanamania, or into know. As a responsible political party, your boy, who go in mass registration or ever. Nti trainee a year and penning for any party for more regions, any constituencies, any police stations. Nti all national officers, nyano ya tie ho bom a yina na ma ye dijuma. NDC dey say I'm so much more head office. Meaning I don't know the game plan for them, but yeah, omo de omo nya ni omo pay. We want to win these elections because we have performed far better. Egyaso Gyaso COVID media or the Nanzu manage Bibia Moso, and once it was a yafi na you say baby I could be answered. EMD protocols no so. Send a bear you do me DNA Bibiano. And then ma mu high. It if you're beside my sanity.
And the NDC was Omona, Chromoso, Omoya, no say, my here. More people from the COVID. Me and Shia. Now, no president here in the last broadcast. So, may your convention rally me. I didn't this votes a kai. Mupese mu de form con. To almost nam. Say the honor moti. Almost nam. Aya campaign gidi pa. Omona kra. Omona. Inti ano me press conference kra.
Oh, agro minister.
Oh, agro be na wo minister. Yeah, national youth. I not studio. O say agro minister. Nka. Osara na jo ba ha.
If you go minister.
We are kase baby awo wo ye campaign na woti. Otifo nyina etie no. Ana ote ha yi.
Agro minister Sophia.
The issue okay.
If you na me tie Pablo.
Anidi no Pablo.
If you come be.
Ana me busa se wo na wadamfo anidi no Pablo.
Oh, I was a me abende.
Aha.
Now, you see, it's either say NDC, and I've said this, and look, Omobe go down as the worst NDC national executives ever. They lack focus. They don't have direction. Omunim yomoye, omosoriano pani bisu mutumbi anomokeka. If you're boss as a man, if you're to me,
Council.
If you're boss as a man, Pablo, this matter it has been dealt with. Look, unless it's NDC purpose, say, Omoabeti Omo CID, Omoabeti Omo National Security, Omoabeti Omo BNI, Omo Office. Oh, some person mo catch you, mo can't tell you.
If you Omo party say, mo susu diana mo de ba yana. Amuka say NDC at the West. Omunya de into omufia konya so ankofo so mu. E ma mo a difference of 1 million votes. Mun we need here just say
issues will come up, but leadership no boss dey o mo kan wase me di kan ko mo say after the being working company e moving pina no e ne dia me di kan mo kan yo after ye ko ye hwehwemu a ye call registrar general ko say after the being ni hu mu no mo shift position no and I'm so okay ni after the being kwa no ba bia ne office wo no e ho na moving pina e fo nso office e wo if you and also go you na baby after the pay office wow operating from the private office no it is nowhere near okay if you no say movie ko say okay say na tell dia yes are contaminated products na o maton no enye ne kwan so mo fire if you so we share be na report so mo de buy na o mo tell say moving pina any other companies kwano debates by moving pina price ano mo de ba no na eye na ye toma mo no anko afro being boati motomo you see we must be careful because in this zone you confused no sikano anko za kwa koto na accounts bi na ene dia o eye company moving pina for na to na sikano mo no aba eye aban ho
but honorable o ye lawyer ni pani ni role say obi a wo ni sikana bamba wa wo influence enye no na ma enam so to nya sa transaction no won fa so kra
we say evidence mo aduce any say obi a product o de buy kwampo no na ebi e quote 1.2 ebi quote 1.4 ena moving pina for no e quote a price that is even much better. Any of the mom, so they received letters from people.
I see.
Right? So the money, because now it has become a normal practice. That is the more reason why a year bust for ye, even under NDC 4. So MPA issue nyane say, sa breno na nyes ha kwan na fa so eton. But they never said say sikano after the what on the coy no you corrupt there.
Okay. Now our main issue NDC was not just about that particular issue. Just say corruption in our bomwa. On my penny is excellency nanado.
That is why I make us say if you and some you can one by one. You know, boss there no but they still want to use it because on propaganda we Nanya no crow on repeat and on no cry. But if you are an MPP for the Kubusa, President Mahama said, what you bribe pay and no from more, that be. And then MPP for. And if you when President Mahama was asked this hard question, what you bribe pay? Who say, me any payer and as the president.
Now, council, now we are up clarity in the question. No, wait, me am the right answer. No, everybody.
I need clarity. Be a brand. Council. No,
but council. Only pani busa say.
Would you bribe no matter the form, shape, color.
There be, but so you question anu
question. What you bribe? Unje ya there be.
There be honorable. Council, we are aware say mo am lawyer for mo kan. You busa question now with tears.
At the point, the journalist was even laughing, and it was so embarrassing.
Embarrassing to you.
Now on Ford, you want to say, look, the Ford Sraj, I can say, breaching the gift policy, or say President Mahama, will breach the gift policy. Where in was here? We shouldn't even get to this stage. Look, and you know, someone tries to be an MP, obviously CEO under President Mahama, Abreswa, and then Eba here in Guafiabo. If you I'm not going to preempt anything, but 10 years to Kuma, who don't know who may be. Bombshell, I did be people partners, Airbus, I did can.
Airbus, you free some more evidence, a council basically net.
If you are not preempt, Mr. and Myanmar Airbook banner. We are sure in the country.
I don't know what the campaign message and Airbus, now the campaign message.
We are very serious. Political party, because you have performed better. Look, your campaign team, for more to do more for you. We have performed better. We have a solid track record.
But council, and no na unia bema Pablo Chem say, sa for more to do better. No, that na munye hute no, and na mobile be. And this is his example. Say mobile terminal 3, some betoi. In fact, was some making allegation because nanado buy or the neba aquatana terminal 3 now say a phantom fantasy project. So was the neba aquatana moaji to free shop a man. Mahaman see terminal 3 wa mesi. Tamamoto run about yi and omuche Mahaman started and I'm aware say under President Kufona sa project port expansion project started President Mama Beto phase 2 and now mobile 3 now mu review motorway the end ma jaka for and mo ye so and he's raising very serious issue against more people say some campaign form more said then
President Akufo-Addo was very specific na or be rules and look this force on my Ghana queen na
Omukasada ben
o my nyina if
you Omukasada ben council da ben na ndisi ka so my queen na
me see when President Muhammad the last state of the nation address see aye queen na na dan kwa Akufo-Addo krampo na no campaign kwa na wada
Can you quote from the state of the nation address? Okaso my kwani nyina.
Obo road obo in Sawom to a year a brick. After Obo was said to Mamufona called I queen the wire. Obrase to almost I queen wire. After Nipa Musum Ghana Koso. After Yababemwa 2 years, 3 years. So His Excellency the President was referring to some rules I see here what time are playing in Tanya the Adina. Look at the mind green book. We shall put a training in our command, the green book. It is men are not take back to the question and you know why because they book on your woman chest and your why you.
But council,
not take question. Who's that? But to be fair
to Mahama, council, to be fair to Mahama, Tamamoto run about mobile and then say it. Meme Tetamaya wometama. Mobile na quine and say it. No, my but not almost like redundant because traffic council
president Mahama, one should be biase. The impression created was that it was completed. You really can't for me and you got to green book.
But council, now see to be fair to Mahama, Sata Madiano, or Muye, but and yet, council, I made patrol, Miss Mayor. Oh, council, Miss Design now, Muma yes, under Jaka project. It's an advanced, more sophisticated.
What I'm trying to say is that time and your campaign near Namia Voter region. You're near about 2016 near Ubia.
There be no Ayatama, Patrol Council. No, my Ayatama, Patrol MPS. And yes, I do. Come on, Council, be fair. Council, be fair. Oh, Council. Mobile my acquiring enough for Tama interchange motor run about no my no fufro but Mahama so ye only MPS in a bay but my no sophisticated
at the same time in Matano
but council
actual work and command so if we check chronology now yes they had started some funding we be near the idea but the issue is that me here she it was your buy
council and I'm say I know there me a media person, but because I live in Tema and I know the history of Sakwano.
If you don't want to facade, everybody will access to the fact so that is what
council, Mammy, and I make us a council. Omudia, Mabaye, and Jaka funding. Quite way more sophisticated because for the first time, your tunnel in Tema, we never had a tunnel. Where a tunnel, I will be fast here, a be a fast soon, a be a fanchemu, Mahama and Yenisa. But Mahama, they are simple runabout.
Oh, yeah, patches and now put on or patch.
There be only a runabout, proper runabout, bear runabout keke. Bamudi amoye de tunnel was here.
It is always there. Tama, who pay free, to put
Council, me who the construction of Sarah about. But
we are for phone to snap at my for.
Ah, Council, now me on
Nima about your order.
And what that I say, President
Gupanta, GMP Zaro, over Hazia, over Afia Council, over her, over Michelle Camp Council. You run about the order. I just also
Council, and I make sure Quino. Until Kumasina on him into the yeah, community.
Tamakwampo dear, Niana FN say. Opa Kwana, so you crossing the Kwana, your free across, said, yeah, if you crossing for a free a crossing a by. What all? You know, the issue is that so could picture in for me for be who be if you are going to have book for no copiato.
Anti-Fonia or Green Book, when you're there, not Tamano, I am a boy.
Can make a sense to also a baby, I couldn't have Green Book.
Baunia Pablo Green Book in the name of fast about it.
Obviously, now my some deception be Green Book, and that is what go and pick the Green Book now. If you are Minister Adiamakame, that could Green Book power, that could find your man almost of my benefits here.
In fact, Wednesday, me the Green Book ni be better.
Yes,
me the Green Book.
Kuna first Green Book, na first pictures now. Omobe now one can say we must say, maybe we must say. Anyway, big na e wo ho nya ye ye paint so kama no nya dada ne nya mo de she.
In fact, unia Pablo so omawie o. O se no de omawie.
Yeah, Pablo agro ni so fia de India komo. Titi.
Agro ne so.
And some and no more king. Right. Say afine yakofa after do be boat ya so ye wi on person mo sa de bom. Look, there was even a time. Omo ye yakoka say cash for city. Omanim go asia after mo say minority report. Na don't say buy house o ma say nya de no TV no bi ahwe bi. Maybe is ya no more fight this on be compare. Look, I did sha say buy maybe me no mo kwampa corruption kwanka me kan wan say biem. Enu go asia na no he NCA for a penny free.
Yeah, omo ya de omo court ya convict omo.
I mean, omo NDC for move for jailers, move this everybody be a jailers. In the coming days, if you will see.
So?
Yes, in the coming days, you will see. The two don't cause one papa. Sa, and communication director, jailers. Have a court can I say you after I'm number chin on the patcho.
I'm patcho.
And send your bus mitigation. And you be said, oh, the penny back was in a home funnel.
I don't know
all of a sudden there was all diabetes.
Okay, so I get your point. So, some jailers, but NCA case because the court decision is very clear. So, I'm say not request to be a national security. See, I'm got but
and me, their quest to equalize. So, Mufis will be a corruption. Na ababaye endemic e wo NDC muntie na no if you say be yan fa wi nso be for MPP but we are e be frato ye kokan ye o makekan se bebre na ba bi ni kwa no so mu de bewura ene nsem omo ya e be frato Ghana for ye nim former President Mahama the su ene ne pan ene senya na corruption esia e twa de photo we know it.
Okay. Council, mama give comment for Unia Bema Pablo, and I call youth for now. Na me busa say, you better no my boy my yenya free and fair election, because about to ye beko ye grab crazy through. Mimi say, Kramaka say, trading more here, crying my man who cry because.
Oh, if you are free and fair election, maybe an free and fair election, very simple.
Youth know, Pablo
will be a money NDC youth. On country NDC youth say, my man, Jane Manson and Penny for Barbecue. The for cry into be a bob one home. To D. No be en concrete to trust them. What be to trust them no? And run will be D. What be a rough no? You will be jailed. Okona could redeem Rano. Now, wow, those who cause mayhem, violence, on destructive elections now. Obi a obey a rough, be also the quay to D, obey a huna, Samia, the Obi, and you will be jailed. And none will be a dominion to a footobia or become once a mino on you bet to the fufro or mupu or mu. Now no ya ka se nge ntwofo fo the truck mu se dey be on ntwofo fo ye di anya ho hwe ne kotroe onam ai so na bi ne dwuma umpo obey the dwuma.
Okay. But council, are we not going to see say let my vote count here? Amu use youth here demonstration a boom for a bubo be any the same thing. Amu be use ma ye ko trading. Mo here na MPP use. Ma ko attack NDC use there. Almost so amu mpene. MEN trading no. Because someone make his appointment very clear.
If the issue is that you can. I mean, demonstration is legitimate too. In here can be trade. And they almost not could demonstrate. In fact, I'm not going to trust some name tear gas no name. You pray be a true being and justice or scheme. A demonstration by me and son. You be who have problem. That is the leadership and another than go Fufado. Obi any one man wanting. Obi any one.
And I say, Makwachi and Nesto, your boy, and no dear, and yet, Chiana.
The question why?
And that's why your boy, dear Moko Fernando, and Mona, dear, so on cry, I grow no di Moko Fano. And at the end, is your static claim say intimidation.
Yeah, then okay.
Oh, Mona, dear, or Koya in a press conference, almost over for me. Mona, actually.
Bernard Modia, the machine way I go.
Was it not
Monday? We should not countenance that.
That's only 7 and Mona harmless. Why wouldn't you have Beman? Moon in a iPad, they be out or a pencil crank.
You should not be countenance any Muja Bishie, they be going your home, the bay, away near the other. I mean, Casaverno.
Cousin Pacho, just I mean, you near Beman.
One can trouble, so when you're ready. You think for near the no when you're ready, what we took to the woman to do. Not a do number 12 on Mahama, no more Cotra Momo. About one idea, if it's reading, you better banso. Okay, so on can come so moon to me, Judy and your force, via Opat and Fee, Ubian Casama Cotro, Mamum Cotro.
Okay,
if you do one about Tonson's and your force. Okay, your maybe so high and about to cry force. I hate about 24
force, eh. Fortunately, as I'm not with Supreme Court, in the better Supreme Court, can I say NDC, Electoral Commission, the only legal basis on Krakow Supreme Court on be determined issue very soon. But my on your bema, Pablo, you are no, and Sana Wako, Mr. Wa, Unia Bema Humanatico, no one in village, a campaign and in Brinty.
Omobanom be transfer and no more prayer. Oh, start Tema expansion project. Utina Nabia, Osine Green Book. There is no picture of the expansion project in the Green Book.
How about mention Mambodi?
Debbie, you know why? Yeah, sir. Initial.
But 6 lane, one can.
That member, yeah, sir. Initially, you know. Sir, the Okaze Uhu runabout. Yeah, near pace canoe from Japan.
Jaika Sikamona,
yeah, near pace canoe. Yeah, na Jaika. Omoba, near your drawings, I be BA.
Design
everything was done by the NDC.
Oh, okay.
And Omoba implemented here. It says any better N1 now. President Pokuaa implemented here. There was no picture of the Green Book of the Tema motor runabout in the Green Book. And I make us say MPP for Nankasano, Omumu Ibebre, including President Kufuor Ankasa. Me did say Green Book nimpo on Shemuda. Yeah, keka and almost kebi. Ebi na be about exhibit, but emani you. Nansen you know Kwejo Pon Kroma Kotina, one of the radio stations. I can't say me to out to force so say omoya approval be impono, not to force in the parliament. Luckily for us on that day, not to force it crap parliamentary records and all the buy. And that is how the MPP is behaving. Yeah. They can choose.
Honorable, he says, Mona Mokan say, my acquaintance. I say, a quite say Fufu Susola say, the piano Mokana, Fufu Susola.
But Fufu Susola was done.
But say, walk here, Quan say,
one of the mistakes we make, Mimi the chief executive for 8 years. One of the mistakes we make is the road be any funding, any the type of road are yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, it's say you were great. Roads.
Okay.
Let's ask ourselves if Fufu Sola was any contract awarded on it? Yes.
Yes.
Was the road constructed? Yes. ABR after Fufu Sola is about 6 years now.
Sir.
Yes. Fufu Sola around 25.
That's a motorway.
The grade no. Contract some.
Papa.
Depending on funding. And then the engineers very recommend. That is what you do.
Okay.
It's not make us say So you're president and now you're opposition leader. Send another president who are to behave, you know. Now, what do we near road? Zero road we board you become a political quantity surveyor. And that was what the Kufuor was behaving like. Everyone no opposition. For instance, NDC time, now you see 6-unit classroom block with facilities now they can at the cost of between 400,000 and 350,000 Ghana cedis. Any other MPP before the catcher and say projects the board today, same 16-unit classroom block, same facility with inflation above them. They are building for almost 700,000 Ghana cedis. Yes.
7 billion.
Yes, but 700,000 Ghana cedis.
That's 7 billion.
7 billion, yes. You may do our analysis. Like I say, projects in board, and that is what they were doing. But no two projects are the same. Projects in the who could do sites in the year or start a day, you know. And you know how we pay them. You check contractors based on bills. It's all day, you know, maybe I anticipate this economy a rocky.
Okay.
It's maybe not or the manual and I go to. But it's become necessary to so high excavator. Okay. So when you don't factor all these things.
Yeah, but on a me person who council who point here and be raised, which is that Moka say my rose ni nyina ma mo pem. And I'm saying
funny you
but me kai sa anu there. Me kai Mahama statement or say President Kufuor kokra no wada. I remember that one. There
some roads in the western region and President Mahama was specific. President Mahama Kufuor call western region then. I don't catch us and Oba no say roads are President Mahama say wa ye no. There are no roads in the western region that has been constructed. Asenkrigwa Road was constructed. So that was a big lie.
Oh, okay.
So that's it. Okay. And no nimbu ina President Mahama Edema say and your first acquisition no krobi wo hono ma pharmacy akoto. Kusi Asenkrigwa hono mo. E fa wase crop hono mu nyina. These were roads that were constructed under President Mahama. And it had appeared in the budget statement. And you have members of parliament from the MPP side that no more our committees. It's you know, President Mahama say so far sa kwine so. Now when who's the idea anawada because the road was so good say okare nam so no want it's no other. But the NDC said nowhere but Abain Bay it be tia kwine bia o Ghana. It is virtually impossible. But to be send mo ho green book and I have given you say me say the green book only 4 projects and the woman na artist impression.
Okay.
Only 4 projects. And then the woman na artist impression.
Real.
All the projects are there for you to ascertain. And when President Kufuor spoke he made reference to the green book. Isn't another fellow and say on anti green book so and on call Rage Hospital Honomana.
Oh, okay.
Because if they are fantasy projects, he will not make that statement. Because these are projects that all benefited from Obaba Etba Kumusis. Yeah. So I say, so okay, say fantasy. Then 1, you are being disingenuous.
Okay.
2, unkano crunch any pana would do money mono. And then the third point you are saying is so-called roads are cocoa roads. Oba suspending and you know why I for they complaining, you know, when they came. A lot of these projects had been awarded to contractors. It has cost you and I, the Ghanaian taxpayer, $10 million. So more of the TSR roads, report BF, remember.
3 years in
3 years in and all the roads that they audited, almost who dream so when they make
it because me kada on Eastern Corridor or complaining about initial construction any contractor no the moment. Make other roads so I can't say be or contractor and Johnny.
Me say, but if you leave a contractor on site for 3 years, now won't you or to site to day. What freezy contract?
Okay.
You are not paying him.
Okay.
Or to site on then or the MPP is only playing smart because almost freezing all road projects. And you see, when there is a contractor on the road, usually a big grady road next one. So the road is in a good state. But in Tony na wipe away Ariana Mudigu sono, then the road becomes very bad.
Okay.
And that is what today Ghanaians are complaining about. Afia Pokuaa report now. It exposes the NPP. Tubekaya, when they went to Parliament, they were quick to say this year, last year, budget statement, almost declared this year as a year of roads. Yes. Because the Afia Pokuaa said it said they were lacking. There was a deficiency in terms of road production.
That's rather a responsive government.
So,
there's a research based show said there's a gap. Quickly, we'll respond.
Have they been able to respond?
I said near COVID, you need to to this year, COVID.
COVID about March, January,
oh,
February.
COVID, Debbie. COVID, Christmas, Netisi, China. By February, now COVID, about by February, close the airport.
COVID do Ghana, but you're reporting first case 12th of March.
But it's not back.
You're reporting first case 12th of March. From March to now, it's 2.5 months. Almost from first case.
Okay.
So what have they done? In 3 years, what were they waiting for?
I can't see road construction here.
So
but okay, again, the excuse are honorable. A council, government, their money say, "Omuba no mas any ma baby." Government can't say no. So they were fixing the economy. One of the example they give is the financial sector. Somewhat disca. Scrutiny and naka also mobile Bank of Ghana no more ye mo anya mankofo awia nkofo sika nti na also mo ko pesca the best stabilize microfinance savings and loans no omo wie 2 years asonti afa na omo ye rules.
Afia, one of these evenings I want to engage you on the banking sector reforms.
Okay.
And then you best speak to the issues. Even today, I engage some customers of Unibank. You know what they are telling them? Almost spending 15 billion, right, on the banking sector reforms. Sikano ewahifa, because they've not paid the people. And on your own, as a journalist, engage the people.
Okay.
You know what they are telling them? Either say, Oma Sika so the amount of 50,000. Obia no what 3.8 million, which is 38 billion. Sikano. Your money 50,000 cedis out of the 3.8 million. 50,000 Ghana cedis. And I almost say the other balance now come 3.3 billion. Almost consolidating as bonds for 5 years. No interest.
No interest.
Yes.
Okay.
5 years, no interest. And no power. No. The last week was the last 2 weeks. You're from my catch from say they can pay them 51% of Omusikano cash, and then government writes off the 49%.
Say a bad debt.
How does that become
bad debt? Or no.
So if you are spending 15 billion,
okay,
now me know we've been taxed 15 billion,
okay,
and almost raising bonds,
okay,
and now me know where is the money?
Okay,
because the banking deficits now we saw the KPMG report on Unibank. We saw the Price Waterhouse report on First National Bank,
First National
Capital
Bank.
Plus, First Capital Plus.
Okay.
And then the very sovereign bank in Nema. We've all seen the reports. The gap was not up to 5 billion. If you spent almost 12 billion Ghana cedis,
okay,
you can't wear him. But that will be another day's discussion because and we know that they've misappropriated those money.
If you are
yes,
your suspicion.
And yes, suspicion. But where is the money?
Okay.
And you see, when you have a government size this large, if you have a government size this large, with all these bureaucracies, it is only corruption and increase.
You can't conclude.
I'm going to come to it. I'm not concluding. I'm going to come to it. If this government has had more money in 3.5 years than the 8 years of the NDC.
I said, if you don't have negotiating skills,
if you are,
CBD loan, a quarter penny buy.
No, more you can't say. I know how to do it.
And I buy it. And you be on the box site,
Box site number 2. If you when a government has gotten 250 billion in 3.5 years, and you cannot account for one major capital project, then you and I
one major capital project saying.
Is it
MPP buy who so my major project be?
If you were recurrent expenditure and your capital expenditure. Most often, capital expenditure, it's here for the hooker. A clear case, a Atwabo power project. Atwabo will pay for itself. Dubai Road, Circle Interchange, Dubai, it's here for the home. Kaswa Interchange, it pays, the money doesn't come to you directly, but will quantify the time I can be spending in traffic on Kaswa, time I be spending here. It pays for itself. The various power plants, terminal plants you see they resolve it doing so. These are all capital projects. The water projects are the hospitals we built, the port expansion projects in Ankasa, the Terminal 3, the whole airport, the Kumasi airport, the Tamale airport.
Kumasi airport, almost move a fairly port also. What the Kumasi airport?
Akufo-Addo was able to land in the evening and you may not plane.
President Kufuor ni ani alande enyuma na.
President Kufuor not playing into enyuma.
No, into enyuma.
Not playing into enyuma.
Asa.
The patron.
I'll check that.
At least over to me too. Kufuor play me ko Kumasi and Renue too.
Because of Mona Moye road in here.
There be airports.
Potholes in here.
Airports. So airports in your failure. The main equipment are no good here.
Because in Kofa ka say sika mo spend here mo the fail airport. Kumasi airport pothole na see airport Ethiopia. A full airport Ethiopia.
You know that
argument has been,
you know that one too has been disputed.
By who?
Oh, even on social media when they brought our Ethiopian airports.
Figures no.
The price was wrong. They misquoted. Okay. You can Google it and check.
I'll check it.
But
right
knowing the NPP and how they can throw dust into the eyes of everybody, it was a clear case of no more here. Offer 250 billion from oil because of the additional fuels that inherited here. And we borrow. And then the NDC in 8 years, we did not get 200 billion in. Because now oil fields in the it was only the Golden Jubilee field that was there. Now Sankofa Mbambeka. With all this money, if you let the MPP come here and name just one major project, I'll meet me at time into it. Omubaye Ofanko interchange overhead. Omba President Mama Piscana to order. Obeche Bilante, let's Canada order. Tema expansion, let's Canada order. So they should just name one project. Just one projector. Their credit. There is none. And I'm going to say your recurrent expenditure and your capital expenditure. Your balance sheet, your recurrent expenditure, almost 200 million has been sunk into recurrent expenditure. Okay. You know why? Okay. Large government size. Okay. But see a movie near youth issue, no, but corruption issue, no, but some rapid abnormal may final comment. Just 1 minute about it. Who was saying NDC MPP? Because Momotia Konyason for the corruption was one of the main issues. And for you, you to abetia 1 million. I'm to lose here. They cited a Mama Ford, Jida, Sada, confirmed to call a Burkina Mamada, and so many other projects. Not once, not twice. I have written on Sahara and confirmed it to call. Oh, okay. Maybe I know first. The studio so I'm saying I'm the yes. But there was no report anywhere. I can't confirm it to come here. So, yes, I have written. There was no report. Maybe I'll share with you one of the. But share with me. There is no report. So where were they in confirm now? We investors can. Let me explain. As I said, Okot Norfa, you know these birds are they grow in the wild more or less, and they gave it to farmers, subsistence farmers. Okay. Almost income. Yeah, 2 programs. Yeah, what we call the broiler initiative program. I am farmers down south. The more broilers. And then farmers up north. The more sound confirm. But what's not enough payer? Udim say very few people have farms and confirm gumu. Obi on confirm power during the day you will not find them anywhere. But then you may they all come back. So there was no report anywhere. And you obi cartoon or finder. And a but there is no report anywhere. And I think confirmed. So that project we invested in, what was the return? It was a SADA program to alleviate poverty. Okay. So it was to farmers. It's more quantify poverty alleviation. Exactly. You two here see the man when you see why you say it was done. You see, for instance, say you're farmer, now you're broilers. No, it was given to the farmers at subsidized rates. It is a ton life check no 1 cedi. Government subsidized and gave it to about 50 pesos. That's it. And farmers bought them and then read them and then sold them to beef their income. And you sold them to who? And then you can't send a buy. And no one question. No, so if the farmer say and cocoa say poultry farm cry. Yeah. Who the 100 best poultry farmer. Who be 1,000. It is like the car government under President Mahama and the pharmaceutical industries. Were they not supposed to account? They were supposed to reinvest and produce to expand and employ more people. Until the evidence will be in the was that done? Yes, it was done. Until when? So, take Max column now. That has been satisfied. Did the broiler projects take place? Yes. Did the guinea fowl projects take place? Yes. Did farmers get access to it? Yes. They did support them. They did elevate poverty? Yes. And what is the evidence of the poverty alleviation? But the people are there. The people who benefited are there. Oh, yeah, sure. If you have say, me say, if you no, but saying you be an if you now bets never say how many bets were given. saying, what you say, and if you can't President or Kutia corruption, you cannot compare President Akufo-Addo to President John Dramani Mahama.
Or
really? Crediting him with the OSP bill. It was part of the IMF conditionalities and he go through.
Special prosecutor.
Yes.
It was IMF
conditionalities. It was part of the conditionalities and he go through.
Special prosecutor President Akufo-Addo Mocho MPP manifesto in 2012 and repeated it in 2016. So it couldn't be IMF.
Find out from Imani. Find out from Imani. Say, you call IMF for credibility of your kind of say policies. In 2014, one of the conditions was that per the program, we needed to set up an office of special prosecutor to separate the Attorney General's office. Because what we realize is people in government.
But council, I am very much aware. Say, I know the President Akufo-Addo has been very consistent. Even time or your candidate, you have a question his about AG and the effectiveness of the Attorney General's office. He has always said there should be a separation of the two.
So that separation happened because of he may have preached it. But there was a process ongoing.
Okay.
So
okay.
Jida didn't happen under President Mahama.
Okay. Council, mami ko uni abema doctor ba ko homra. Na me no wa ba beto so na ya bonko the line no crowd drop. Besa ko no because this is a lecture of leadership studies and management studies of Wisconsin University or US. Our year research into corruption and some of these issues so that because besi ati no fi na fi enko use no. Any the enti ye betimi am o mabo am I sure free and fair transparent election because and na uni abema na bi wono so your lawyer say wa no so ka say wo afutu obi adobema youth na to omo for say ekotwedi na omo nkotro
e fi na bi me na na classroom at Motor School.
Same
dormitory, we grew up together.
Oh, I see. Sentina I de biam kase mu youth na mo policies no. Mo da yan ya kan. Wo say mu ye nua no free. Achimota. Aba ma we NDC we MPP. Na just say we na wo opposition bibi kra ni abe Nana B Charlie sort me out. Nana B su bo opposition bet me for Charlie Pablo. Onso bo uni obo Pablo wa mo odi an kasa. Na ma da yan say any every 18 kwaje so.
Yes sir.
Ya go na me ne doc and jojo komo. Hello doc, good evening.
Even if you say,
but you're not going to man also.
You Adam, young sir.
Doc, my own chair leadership, our brochure or my dear man, Necra. Now, you see, Emma best lectures near Quakoma, Ogan and you. Yakakoma best lecture about somebody or a brochure on them. Doc, who chair leadership near the there's a bone of contention, they say, Ghana. Corruption, Nana Dubai, or so on there. 1 year corruption, said about man for Bebuano Cranty. Will be a citizen, not a spectator. Be a cat. President Akufo-Addo no crack zero tolerance for corruption. President Mahama ba also wants to so cry. Woman evidence so cry. When you who ya be zemra enu bedi. Na dey why about than politics. Instead say about fighting corruption no. About than man yosem NDC ketia MPP ketia NDC. Doc from baby a wo ya wo trade a. Ugina bonten a wo sesen Ghana no. Corruption and why ye why ehne yadru.
Say, Michia Ghana for na Cecilia Yaraboni, I have funny, I am penny pay. I want to make your young consum. And penny Francis, ye sentienti, and I am some elfu. Now, ye can't leader ne obia or war influence. I will nipasua or do a more together to achieve a common purpose. Na sawusha leadership we nyama bebre na a measure yasika a leadership metra se meka twi ni ye na leadership nyama ye hu so bi leadership eye kamane ne say good governance and as amamu papa na amamu papa na any den amamu papa ne say obi atwi obi ho na obi aso bo obi ho ban na ni penya ba bi odi ni tibetfo oni penya ni obedie na oni penya ni obehye saa nyama we wunya na je se wo bu o man papa ba mammo bi a obebu a scandal bi bebam no na je se enye good governance into the governance and a measure amammo papa say ye tageo anase ye ka se wamammo awubu no bibi abama ye friend scandal a enye na wamammo no nye papa na wo ye corrupt enti sawusha NDC MPP a to pay ni nyina amanfo ka no a NDC mres ni yankohwe yehu Jida yehu Savannah afforestation yehu Suba Yehu Ghana Scandal Airbus. Yehu National Service in Yesia 7.9 million Ghana cities and a PNI for Eko ya 22,612 and Crofua Omonia National Service and a Binum paycheck. That is NDC. Yamra MPP mu MPP by infamy and sending Yehu a merit deal. Now Scandal at Wasem PDS Kennis GVG Yahoo gas cylinder Yahoo Galamse near Koso and a premix fuel on Seattle Wasem. And she says, Measure NDC MPP by Yama Midu way pa. Excess Omunino, Omo good governance and a questionable. And Tiaka corruption on strict sense, yeah, both MPP and NDC Nano, only a guilty as charged.
Well, dog, that's a for say, Hono cry, only a guilty. But in terms of magnitude, why now what one home they say? And ko betimi yi corruption free ho ana obetimi to ho na mo so obi a bibia kwacho kra betene no eno why no research
emra ewo mamu emra na ye adwuma na institutions ni bia ye ma mo kwa no mo ye adwuma ene se wo bo bi so bo se wa wi sika ye de ne famra kwa so de court it's an say ye republican ye democratic enya sojafo na eru o man no enti yanhwe jida ne savana ne suba nyina ne ede ne siye manye che no wan de ne court a ede ye example ma obi so hu se dream ni kata hye a we ye yenti no na so twi ne se ne be ya obi opeso be ye piem no ntimi nya saa wo hwe MPP ne NDC mu a ebi siye enti se ye be ka ne saa na hwete pansa me ya kotena se na nkrofo no mo ye no kusini na modi a unim ni aka ekese omo mo wie no kwa ye twin so munim nyasa se omo anwia no esan se Africa any Ghana nyina kwa se no bokro no e munyam eti ye si no mo kro no a ode ne nsa wesi ye adwuma enti omo mi enu nyina no bia ni wa watimi a kire omanfo ne se otwe oman ne ho no wa ma me pesika me ye hwe na mo ba be ye oman ne ye esan se ne titi ni nyina ne kire se emusie bia no se jawase nyama bi wa e koswa utimu se asem we de nka se ko wie sei se go bi kura wan ko school kura ni timi tena se wo se se wa ko fa sika sei court ye be court ni etua se dan ye etua se da another institution I have problem your court system the legal system no and ye be etua se da sa bo se be wie no justice delayed justice denied na for bi akotra ne baby enti no omo mu wie sika se ye si we afa we si we afa we no ye ntimi empanish wo mo emma enko mu ye na manfo hu se mfaso ni kro no boso na obeye o ma adwuma as a civil servant as a so man na be som no nye sika na so ba be wia e ho ne your problem
edi dog just na
no se obi every way and so we are go Ethiopia for say a thief is a thief whether you steal an elephant or an ant is found in your pocket okromphobia ya kromfo so go we or snow and as you hu se tetia shobotoma mu nyina mo ya kromfo
enti na just omo mienu nyina obi ani moral authority say obeto ba kudi nse kromfo anase we nya ndi say we nya say
obi ani wa pass corruption check because we Transparency International corruption perception index yeah the judge in the country be a when you 50 out of 100 score no you corrupt
okay
both NDC ni MPP nyina Ghana obi anya bi da
but
from those Freedom House all those indicators from World Bank from IMF from state institutional embassies for all African countries in the United States say we are corrupt.
But dog, you bet me akwatia ever. You bet me aye. Consider the kind of amanyasemo or Ghana here. Says here na council catcher say Nana Dubai airport terminal called in the back of Tanaho. And this is Utia Kunya, so be a castle no so the Bushia forward Belmo, Mahama family and friends. Okay, honorable Babin Crab a cancer, on not this abro for no cry at the bind. A brave papa, you bet me a drew.
I have done a bedroom. I answer free delegates in her. Maybe a research we Ghana Parliament. Book no a war Amazon, yet only $82. In fact, Germany for Lambert publication a publish here. Now book no talking about political leadership corruption in Africa. Delegates a deadly Africa in home ye. Delegate be a be a person standing for president and answer MP or what is a delegates in your woman. Me here obi press me ko ka che ne MP say wonyem na o mani sika no fa nkoyi
It's serious.
Delegates no be sika saa no onipa no wakoba bosia Sam George na say amote say won ka say okoton ni fie no de contest for MP samote ye enti abamba be no maka ho asem amanfo ka ho asem ka ho asem money crazy is the problem na wonim de anti Africa yanko yanim no abrofo any China for be nyina no wonim ni say the wuti sika mo obi na no ne be ya ade a onwen kwakire biem muntie ni ye pa obi a waji sika bia nsa na wayade no onwen kwakiri enti obroni nim China ni nim ono be ye negotiation bia ye we mame a na wa ma sika seje enti sika na waji ni say contract o bibi na so de ma no onwen ho na wa sign and no and na di ye dem enti ye hwe delegate ni ye na ye make sure say sika tua na ye tua ansa obi a elect obi amana kwai abamu no ehun hia obi odi sika bia so ba be ma say isikai na me pa ba mo bia na o ye kromfo
I see any accounts
ai kan okonya na wo he
any docs awati a
ko kese nyina mu no mum na mutwetwe kakaka se papa yi woni munyansa obekwa ko boa ye ma ba mu enti ye mwa boa ye ho ne mfa ne nko enye obi na obetwe sika ma won se isikai na fa me ko o bribe no wako na okwa wa ko wie sika no de kakra bia brem ye problem of Africa nyina no
dog me now because ene kra de free bribe ko duabo se watia and MPP primaries duabo no mobo ama party no kra de kokobo ama say so mo so wo abebo dua bia ya suspend automatic
afia duabo no me say omuntwa so adenti no mpesa omodi ye kotete ye democracy ya to aba minim say bi no fa se yi bi no free mu na ye say ye mo bi contest bi tane ma we nyina say ye ka ho asem ehu hia say obi a contest obi na wa be ye MP na edru me bi o se media me call no post me obi an contest me that's how you practice democracy ay kabina min kabi and say wo pesa wo kosomo man no obi nso pesa wo kosomo man a identity na political party ni ka se we dey yam man nko disqualify no a onya boni bia onko jail and onko wi obi ade o qualify so vote dia na mra bia nse kwa so be qualify say o be stand dia man constituency
dog and you remember me now I say do contribution aboy pa in fact the conclusion from research why say we anyway and anyasa wo kan keke wasa my examples e say NDC o MPP o bia ya corrupt in press conference NDC for you so mba besesen MPP no say na say enyina to bi eni
mon kan che o nyina say ya tia bre ye hia ni say o man no be ni ye o mo be kan sa so mo ba sika wie ye obu aka prekwa bi na re botum en so ba mfie miensa na watoka no city hotels na so manfo no so musa sika no konya no wo he onto say yenye be sorry ni yaka say yam pini mo bi nkobia sika enye politicians nko a omom ya ba adwuma nyina okwa ede no koyo ko wakiloto ko akwatena ho no we read news paper no asapa signature crow bi obi sa obi ade ma no wo be kwaba ya wo problem and kasa no dawson amanfo ko space no musi ekwaje nyama kase no ya kasa based on electoral register say ya be new registration and no huni ye be ku nipa and ntokwa be si ni ada we ntokwa si a orders nyina ni atutum no wo be ko he atenna be petru elections amoma ya maame ni papa ni yam siensa Ghana ba ko so pani ye wo adena politicians from mutia bo Africa sa mo be kasa so mo ba ye huni amoye amanye ekọ mani mu nyina na ten African company kwetimi ayama omanfo eso kasa nye hurahura saa omo mienu nyina ye corrupt enti omo ntena se no mo make sure say oman no afedie ye hu say ye corrupt ni ye sesa ye niema etan say so we president we minister na se obi kase we say ya atoba bia on person obeti atum asa nyama for kasa on person obeti no empe bebre no na saa na wotie
okay Doc, mama na wase papa in fact and waboy pa mo ama issue number into perspective. Dr. Opoku leadership and management studies lecturer Wisconsin University of America no na yetwetwe nkomo doc ya da wase papa ugusu tie live okay 101.7 FM ne National Youth Organizer ma NDC studio ha yetwetwe nkomo na na bi studio National Youth Organizer ma MPP atwetwe nkomo na ye ne empedifo bi so atwetwe nkomo Doc Opoku eka ho ye beko youth no mu na ya because NDC and MPP na the dog can settles the issue technically say wo mu nyina ya corrupt nti obi any right say o tene ne nsa hwe ne yonko so say we you corrupt and we you corrupt won chendi and woman obia depending on the whole position no waka e de etia na yonko yanko free and fair elections 2020 elections here dey enim there ni a role a mabunu play ewom because full soldier adwuma a mabunu ye de omokoyem yanko bon crofo a mabunu yanko tompa party honiema a mabunu yanko propaganda a mabunu ya mon crofo a mabunu classic example ni aye waso weso go ye nyina ye hu de koso ho no ma e ba ntokwa ya bu nyina na ye a mabunu yakoburu no owu a wawu free let my vote count e mo ya bu ma ba ko ni boy e mabunu wawu wahwe obekọ na yire ne ma party for ba ne ma okwense kakra bi eno ano unua hwan yo na akawo eno onyame eso still a mabunu di politics achi sanke be ma enepa abamu se e mabunu kwankwa mo nya policy e be fa wo munua no mabunu no omukwa de odokopoku ka no makoje nkete se ne odokopo bi wono ma oba ne nkram pan hu na ase Rollins chain uka time na Rollins by revolution time no Friday time na ne kom nyina yi nkra nkase ebe wie che na ho nyina fede ma na fe on no o command hotels akese owo de ndie akese nipa ya na ne kwatena classroom yo afede obe oye politics anu asesa enti ene Ghana obi awie university pe onko politics ube di NDC ana MPP atama be 6 months ukonyina se ye beto ama na ya to ama ya to ma wie na o party ba pa obenya information deputy and I post we need to akochem and one house was starting now we make money we free power pe we fuel station we hotel back we dan back ha we ni ade ayepe say individuals be ye at the expenses of mine na and no youth one sem ne ye ba be ke ba mfa se da kese e ma ya bofo kukuda mo boy me de Egyaso ebe live every Monday any Wednesday bia endpoint homeopathy o pese nei covid abase so immune system ye week pe covid ni twam won fichire pe no wabusuafo nya be dai oni wabusuafo nyina da wahwe ebeda mu nti uti won ma kosho ho nkyene na hwe so obenya hode wo body nim se de be bo nti ebi obi won ma ho woso o nervous system na ye weak no obehwe na ho nam hyehye wachi hyehye osrem hyehye obi won na asenko na hyehye no eno so sa wo nerves problem aba ho obi won tumi nante ni kotodwe obi otena se a wosori agi so obi so ni mu ye so ni mu no gina so agi so gina wa ansa na watumi etu ne nan o spinal problem enya issue o nerves wo issue bra endpoint homeopathy na doctor for kukuda mama being show body ni ma o ena so covid ba o ye no one on one nti exclusive ayi na wo a doctor ni nya aboche o show full team go so na ase edro bia ho no ma prescribe dia ma wonya hode mapa o body na men try ma wonya Ghana for so ba ni bi ye be ko hospital ni ya no covid no immune system na fight you so immune system you weak now you be out o chance be yare ansa wako endpoint one there ani owuo ena wa wote one ma wo frefre e de ama ho no hepatitis o infertility mema no amoja omuhu suo nya ese pure water no o de tena ho chance obe yare ansa doctor ma wayi ko endpoint ye hwe wo na nya hode papa ko doctor for mpanifo be so ma exclusive attention ko a ono nurse for the doctor for wo mo hwe endpoint e wo yes sprinters shell signboard one uduru abuso mo bia be hu tema committee 22 ko na so obianim akora taxi driver akora na obisi endpoint ni so o madwuma ti apo enti obi age wo matum ana kuma so mo okro no mabo hia Angel Education Complex e ho no ma frɛ endpoint for 0244 867068 0244867068 na endpoint for timi ahel ama ahode ba doctor for onyina ya mamumo ene adwuma kese amoye papa na Total Trust Club e de abama ayi drivers and chichu ne taxi ene trotro for onyina nei aban ba ya covid ba nkofo kra de so bo aban say na aban hunte pedro so covid abo ama wiase nya world market kra e bo no kofom so aban de na no wote so fia bi on sha dante so nti o ye smart ya we are trotro ya taxi unim say covid ba kra say ma mo fa full passengers in so petrol abeto the same kojo mentena mo bi eni osika oti ase join Total Trust Club petrol abeto ama o total fuel station be genuine standard board of what the woman stand peti so I just say yes am insurance cover 6,000 Ghana cedis into obi the tube obi di miahunan obi di fa na so we driver don't worry we Total Trust Club uni problem ye be hell 6,000 Ghana bank insurance Ghana bank and na kufa do insurance 6,000 Total Trust Club no my insurance 6,000 oje ya ni ahwe said about how hospital bill ni ade nya enkoy your problem na join Total Trust Club and it be ubo say yeah bow ma wa say yes we are taxi we are church driver wa uchim ada fine uni problem bi madam any de bro e match facility pro for any ho akade a wo de boy na o live okay 101.7 FM mo de adwenche bebraba ye be come mabu no so ne mabu no ye e de abo ase Ghana be ye o Ghana nye ye oni nyina mabu no so mabu no ya da anase ye wo ho no ma ye adwuma abantia ba ko e wo wuntumi foundation o se fia hwe ofanko runabout overhead ya aban ye $60 million Mahama kwani NDC buy ka so interchange no say $100 million eso nya kwan papa bi e no me ye Ghana for those are the corruption issue a catch Pablo no nya anu no nya se wode nanam fichira issues emfa no ho e na o ka ho asem nyina de o ka de yenim dada yenim mo so dada e na oba pa de penal crime mo sikudo se fia mo good job e na on production team no mo ye no na Noble Deku was me here live if ya me share honorable ewo studio honum lawyer Shanama me pa Darlington Mensa no good job if ya na mo ye no Samo Tufo no so well done if ya na nana kwaku was me tie live ewo adenta mum fire issues no ma ye pa said e ye Mavis Melvin Calvin no say if ya can youth na se ma ye pa na me the issue a me hwe se me tie ho asepa ni youth no Kofi Bansi if ya na Pablo de wo di tropa o what can for Mahama to say Mahama extra about for so nya te Ghana ye hu de Mahama be ye pa so hwe so to no ma mu de propaganda kwa no munim Joe kwache no say please tell Oparima ye say Airbus issue no nkan wan say nye de hia ene de oti studio ho no ma gaga isem na oye no Aliya Hassan no say afia me de I love you ni say de oh fire questions ma ye no na ye akwasi adu a champion say vim me bon pa ma pa because who na wo be gina radio so questions out to me fire ye ho baby ye wo Europe about 10 something so still ye gina na so ye show live wo Facebook Nana Boachi Junior no say please when was the sitting president setting up a committee say omo investigative vice president for corruption scandal Ghana there nothing can delete JM any corruption image no ono ne de aba Maxo Boachiba was it let Ghanaians decide na jai Pablo de ne okeka kan na de ne ye de ne de no pese wotena ho na woka edema enkrofom Britain ku was it if you good evening pa from Spain and I make him Sam Jew was also Maryland and or here live you Kwabna Lalas was it why do NDC and MPP every day omo attack opposition EC omo opposition moto one moto me campaign so moto one am keka de mamo Dave Joe Amankwa Mensa so New York as if ya me hwemo pa questions in there sefata bia and I will fire questions so e wo studio onum akwasi Isaac no NDC mo say ya na ya to aba no maluzu peche abeta na kwadu no se vem yetio pa na kwasi esuma no se vem me de metio every day metio papa adwuma mo ye de mo ya de lagbani Franklin no se fia o ka che obi so obi disappointed MPP member minim ni pakro Benjamin Eje no se fia good job pa good questions and I busa no e ma me ante Gladys bodu se vem ye show pa justice be and come on if ya na den ye hwemo na kache Pablo say ye de enti de oye na sekora me na adoma kosu asam o se vem ye help pa Michael Stremsai wo se afia mu ye adwuma pa mu nya adwuma na mo bo Ghana abaso pa real na melekoi e wo teshi wo se afia yeso ye tie pa ene adwuma kase am ye no yawo Perry Empire wo se na kwa me den times bia mu ye chobo analogy no is dead on gone no de youth na wo nya ye badwuma ye tie nsam ye mo bia ma chobo me dada kwa ubeba no aka nsam ebetimi aboy pa afia wusu osevim yetio live okayfm yento discussion so na ye oparado ye ne no entoa enkomo no so e kan so ye hwe enkomo na ye bo no youth any omo contribution to ensuring say benya free and fair elections ye campaign youth ya say mu na free ba he o crowd the other who qualify as youth what does you youth and na mu ko nyina 2020 nyina mu bank mu hope on you say president mama otifie mbo a nye baabia no betimi awura e wo se mu youth ya na mo ye adwuma ma no na na do oti jubilee nye baabia no betimi awura eni na bi ona moti ya oni ni nua sami wo mo na bush o mo ye adwuma yi youth no ade na mami over the years under First Republic there na youth na ye de aboama elections aye transparent aye ye aye papa aye krabere
Afia untimi intro Ghana history a obejambe bu no afimuda. And the one I was starting show no antecedents be about from Nkrumah so the role of young people, Akweje and how they fought in Broad Ghana. Oba from PNDC, so President Rawlings, Oba 79, by a bebuno. Now, share the appointees here at the Tobico of a question, Nippon no Mobile Jumana, no money now in bebuno. And the President Kufuor and Obaya would deviate from bringing on board a lot of young people. President Mills, by me, appointment made 26 years.
Oh, really?
By MC, yeah.
Wow, 26 as MC.
As MC, I crap him now.
Hey.
Into Osha, President Mills, and a lot more young people.
That's very good.
Samuel Kujato Black Deputy Minister at the age of 26 or 27. So a lot of us were given opportunities, and Mijidi said, "Untmin Trogana Bakosema Ubeja Imebunu Efimu," because we have been and I am the vanguard of the democracy of Ghana. We play an important role. And that Sebi, I see if as much as we've become the vanguards and they are very anchor in democracy and riding on. And they are afraid to be youthful exuberance.
Yeah.
What confines are in so you cannot downplay that. But if you're a national youth organizer of the NDC, we say in the last 2 years, until we be as NDC in branch yebi, aye basmasa bi baby.
Obaye.
The baby youth organizer. You. We were at Ayawa Soba elections. You who send your comport here.
Ayawa Somo comport mo.
Now what did we do wrong?
Ah, sir.
Then you or honomo.
And you want the squad to call
our candidates.
Yeah,
number 2. There was no read a report. There was no firing from the candidate's house. Almost so much to say weapons or candidates. And in every political activity, usually the crowd will converge around the parliamentary candidate's house. And I be a party iron in the base. And that is exactly what happened in Ayaso West River. But we thought about Ghana first. And then ABR, we have tried to build a new youth winger. Sabi, and then I will text a message about Okayfm say, Chobe, no, it doesn't give the kind of results I have. So we are looking at more of dialogue, building a youth front, a year more innovative, and then most importantly, a year strategic. In the last 3 years, we've seen more political violence from young people, but not from young people from the ruling party. Unfortunately.
Are you sure?
Oh,
let my vote count. No,
let my vote count was a demonstration by people, and they were not NDC for and a couple let my vote count.
But your government was the police. You have to take
it was the police. You see, you're in state institutions. Then
as a party, as a government, condemn it.
Was there stone throwing? And I be because I was saying this for a demonstration. And police for uncharged so because we comported ourselves, and that is the difference between the NDC and the NPP.
If say let my vote count for crime comport the principle of proportionality. So be too.
The police can use. If you are the police can use reasonable force. Depart from it. For me, I believe that whatever happened, Nipara Nomsen and Yabono, Yen said it was not factual or so far injury, but a Nyambo. So let's not be swayed by MP before throwing propaganda. Let's deal with the issues. Let my vote count for what did they do? Omudu Cathedral. We all saw the videos. Almost police for the path that the police are charging. Almost they want to use a different path. So in the police trying to enforce it, there were some mishaps. Maybe police, I don't speak for the police. What you say? But for the first time, we've done a demonstration that we've gone to the Flagstaff House to present a petition on 2 different occasions. The difference between here and they said we followed procedure. And I'm gonna say the NDC today is more disciplined. It's say what we say NDC in branch here it's because of the kind of leadership away in place now. It's say your demonstration, your Tamale, we all saw it. Your Kumasi, we saw it. About Greater Accra, we've done not less than 4 demonstrations in Greater Accra within the last 3.5 years. Not once. And the police and your cause, so many Kubibi. Because all the demonstrations we have done, they are exhibiting maturity. Unfortunately, you cannot say the same about this government. ASP and Cabrus.
Azoka boys, NDC for.
Has Azoka boys in the last 2.5 years committed any mayhem anyway?
That's how many elections.
Yeah, parliamentary primaries for NDC. Yeah, presidential primaries.
Presidential primaries, man.
President Mama,
almost like an acclamation.
But he was contested.
No, but Ghana Fonka games. When somebody was contesting, I said, "Yeah, one day also."
Fonka Yabobi.
Fonka games.
Yambobia. There is it.
Nana Krodra Rollins. Oba Penny Kesia. It is on her legacy and NDC cry. And then what the strongest women's wing. Afia, I
will not want to engage in the sad debate on the Rollinses.
A trim saying.
But you see, Funka games. There is a new leadership in place. So even granted, say, under those reign, in maybe Tochima, should we always continue? No. But I am showing you, sir, under His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, Flagstaff House, the Invisible Forces, ASP Nankabrus, senior police officer, you bring one of Flagstaff House, up to the Yencheba Kokra. Under President Akufo-Addo. ASP Nankabrus on the 9th of January 2017. First day, Akufo-Addo first day in office. You're swearing in 7th New Year. First day, Jubilee House, no. ASP Nankabrus. Omu yini fini ke mo security gate ono ma. Emi brimo no. Rather, no mo ko chi soldier for na no mo duty no. So mo no mama security images no. Leak out.
Oman chom for breach.
Oman chom yan choma omo bo police ni no. But rather no footage is never out no. And omo ko chi soldier for na no mo mane CCTV no. Omo ba ko yire. And the information about say detaining the crew almost 1 week. Asana Ghana for 80.
Okay.
Kromuha. You know him sending a judiciary in it here. It's a Kromuha no more. And a judge, it Johnny John a wig, Kumasi. Then you bet you be a swan. You
Oh, Johnny John a wig.
Oh, Johnny Wig. Not Johnny John wig was an agro. So I just 80 cents. And you bet you be a nimu. But under this government, impunity a grow to the extent say you would your course who I was West Sudan. A minister of state ebe admission on radio the next morning. Brother Champo. Say on the dispatch boys.
Platoon commander, he was just taking
responsibility. Committee no Ojane Kalo. He now backtracked on his words. Say after he didn't know about the action. And on the kotu ASP Azuso. You understand? We have seen.
I don't think they know or deny say or they work under him.
No, but
they work under him.
They work, but he denied the admission. No, CTFM. He denied that admission.
But he said, "Omo and the boys, he's aware of them."
Or say he know. They say on CTFM, or say he instructed them to go. Or could do committee, or he backtracked. On CTFM,
mask. Boys,
on CTFM, he made a public admission. Say, our core committee, they put it to him there. Say, but you made this admission, so why? Has your story changed? So what's here? So these are the issues we are talking about. Political violence has no space in our politics.
Okay.
And then yes, you're encouraging. But we can only curtail it when President Akufo-Addo himself, he's paid lip service and then rhetorics to Obaye 4 years. Violence are cost under his watch. He didn't see that. But then because President Ashanti region, the Akoso from the regional coordinating council. You do call courts no, and break you free, and I judge ni Ghana here. So when you call court, and you find you 1,000 cities, I cheer more, and break you into court no. I tell you now, file a null prosecutor.
And as council, we are aware, say Lord, dear, Nipa no court on a criminal matter. And also evidence enough to prosecute. Into only evidence, I'm filing only prosecutor. And your police one was on the evidence. Now, Mama filing only prosecutor.
Mate, if you are Mate.
Oh,
because you see, I am surprised, when we must be condemning such acts.
I think I know the uncle for condemning.
Yes, but the people who went to court, are we saying, the police could not investigate and identify the people?
And they could, Mom.
Exactly. So, a part of the conspiracy. But you see, in all this, Akufo-Addo himself a beneficiary of this acts of violence.
How?
When he was opposition leader, we saw how he ran his political party.
How? Or opposition? No?
When he was opposition leader, was it not under his watch?
Or you saw you to know the
was he not the very same person? I was in a tiwa. It's been under his watch. But the time we're in government, but we saw the atrocities melted out by the MPP on us. Me say na okojina chebia say fa kuforidia no the delegates say kasano. Me na the words say na no. Say etiwa kra ye chiro bibi kakra. Ye say ye hufo na obi ade mienu na etiwa kra ye chiro bibi kakra. Did I quote those words? No, but that is who the man stands for, and that is what he stands for.
Game. They also history.
No. If I'm saying that he's still the sitting president, and under his watch,
so he cannot change.
Right? But has he changed? What's this, sir? They will not be training militias everywhere. But that's a story. Yeah.
He said he had no idea about how
Afia, when we were in government, or confirm mercenaries, no mean a person but the party chairman almost suspending Afuku and the Bekachara Ghana for.
So, and another confirm mercenaries.
About the mercenaries, they brought a chairman, he deported Omono. Before then, they almost launched a program, a assault on Deben power. Paul Afuku told Ghanaians this,
that he could be lying.
But the MPP did not challenge him that he was lying. To the extent that even some senior journalists in this country, because Afuku knew about the group coming into Ghana. Some senior journalists that speaks for the NPP came out to admit, say, Afuku can say don't him say group neighbor. But Afuku said, Otiko Jaba, who was the woman organizer, was the one who called him and alerted him, say, that group here but no more training.
Oh, okay.
In Crawford.
Okay.
And then the senior journalist said, Afuku Boa, because Afuku knew about it and he was part of the group that admitted something from him.
So your point is that Nanado, any MPP, use you to know they are bonny baby.
Nanado himself is a beneficiary. He's the greatest beneficiary of youth or politics.
By NDC, the money record beer of youth. More use or mama di bonny of
Afia. Yeah, analyze the situation. Me the card admit is a few women's.
Yeah.
But political violence in this country. Primaries are violence, a wumupa. So Obekaya, first deputy speaker, or say Usu. Emra Oko independence. Bekwai. So Obekaya, violence are a course so Bekwai. In the course so Bekwai. As son of say Usu Ura Parliament as an independent candidate. So Obekaya. In the history of the NPP, constituency primaries are degenerating into violence. It is only found in the NPP. You get the NDC talking, the Beko party office, across TV, back one or two B, but violence, it only happens in the NPP.
Hey.
Cite examples in the NDC.
Moko NDC, Moko Congress, Tamale Congress. I think that was
2010.
I think 2010, yes.
There was no violence in Tamale.
There was no violence in Tamale.
But Tamale, a acclamation of your old executives now. Cabinet retained his chairmanship. I said, Ofosuabo moved from national organizer. They are brought in and deputy. Obedi national organizer. There was no contest in Tamale.
Was that the Congress? There
was no violence in Tamale. But even you, Afia, you've been a victim of the NPP violence in front of President Kufuor.
Not that me, I've been a victim of both.
NDC for border.
Oh, it doesn't have to be that.
You're border.
Now you, NHI.
NDC for another honor.
Did you?
It is a public institution.
Did you hear NDC condemn it?
Oh, some of us condemn maybe at 10 or
And you're correct, honorable. And you're correct.
But the NPP youth has assaulted you before.
I know they are not.
NDC assaulted her. Has the NDC assaulted you before? NIA is a state institution.
And boys no mobile, I know me a state. They
were not NIA head office now call you. Oh, district office. We now going to have problem. And you know say yeah buy
not workers of only one pay and I know NHI worker. And I'm because
you buy no and Sylvester Mensa. And one of the issues the NDC of me want to say, we came to maintain more better
Why?
Sylvester Mensa, most of the district offices.
Deputy directors 40.
Deputy
directors NHI 40.
Don't misconstrue. Me say district offices now.
Okay.
Baby, I was of this year. We did not bring people in. It was the old team that were working.
But it was under your watch.
But the NDC as a party have not assaulted you before. But the NPP as a party are assaulted. Oh, but you see,
NDC sat and watched, jubilated. In fact, they even said, "I am put I am mono." They said it. So why are you distancing NDC from this?
So if
did NDC in fact President Mama lawyer and an NHI lawyer, they came to court and said that Yabuno because sorry later justifying the assault by saying that on one claims or the bar counter claims in court. On what on council.
It's not here. A lawyer must file a defense.
Oh, council. Or say, if you are vexatious and on no new defense.
But if you know this, if you know this jargons.
Oh, jargons.
If I'm mounting a spirited defense in court, if I'm mounting a spirited defense in court. The argument I am making and the point still remains that the NDC as a party has not assaulted.
I know there.
But the NPP as a political party are assaulted. So when you talk about political violence in this country, I offended Dan Kwabuzia for. Unim Ghana bakose mumpa, unim Ghana bakose mumpa, unim say Dan Kwabuzia for kofiuku. Yena na no katsere.
But okay, say President Rollins so ebo obi asum allegedly aka.
Is it President Rollins? President Rollins.
Are you now dissociating yourself from President Rollins?
I can never. I am a die-hard supporter of President Rollins. So I would never depart from it. But is he allegedly? There was no proof to it. So he enjoyed movie on. But if you what I can assure you is that the NDC's youth does not support political violence. But if you are to every man's patience, there is a limit.
There's a limit. I know this is true.
To every man's patience. We have done very well in the last 2 years because I have an elder as my national chairman. So his personality, and I will say a man reflects it. And we have a peace-loving president in the former peace-loving flag bearer in the person of the former president who cannot hurt a fly. So leadership matters. And these people almost
what leadership. What makes you think, President Mahama, that he cannot hurt a fly, but President Nanado, the only day he can hurt a fly?
But did I say all die be die? The man who called all die be die.
But President Mahama no can boot for boot.
When President Mahama said boot for boot.
All die be die any boot for boot.
When President Mahama said boot for boot, he said it in a certain context. And it was on the spur of the moment that I was so who got issue ni see here. Now you're shooting Crawford. Never in our
premeditated. Are you saying Nanado there no agene
ho? Asem na no can premeditated.
Mahama there wa agene ho.
No, because on that platform and as a leader he needed to say something to inspire confidence in his ranks.
Council said he needed to say something.
And I'm saying he said
to say anything just to arouse the youth.
But he like I say if this thing continues, then we will be compelled.
Then the same thing President Nanado say where the
Akufo-Addo's statement was after the by-elections after almost a year. And I know he incited party supporters to violence. The two are mutually exclusive.
Are you sure?
Of course, yes. Is
it not him saying, say, oh, yenim say, wait there. Yes, last election, I feel where the yes,
the NDC won 2008 against all odds. We were intimidated. We were in opposition. And Obekaya, then Omaye. What did not happen in this country in 2008? So it was even on a wrong premise. Somebody intimidated him when he had all the state apparatus at his disposal. And he was even carrying himself as president even before that time. The convoy, yes, in 2008. So for him to stand in where say, elections, we all saw how we worked for the NDC to take power in 2008.
But
I was a parliamentary candidate in that
election. President Kufuor win the election in 2000. Rojo Metono no control so
in 2000.
In 2004.
No, but in 2004. In 2004. Is it when you share an opinion, it is not a call to violence. In 2004, the first results that was declared at the Castle Gardens. And the Electoral Commission declared 2004 results. And it was in response to Jake declaration, and Anna Rojo responded to.
I see.
But it's in 2000, even in 92. in 92 when President Rawlings had won. MPP for control stolen verdicts.
That's again, it's an opinion.
Was that a call to violence? And I'm saying, so that was not a call to violence. But the MPP for and Nanabi. And you see, it is unfortunate that people like Nanabi speaks and tells us that he's in the China can be registered. If you are NMD can say there is a limit to what you and I can control, what anybody can control. But let's not lose sight of one thing. Our constitution is clear on the mandate of the AC. It is not in dispute. The same constitution, Article 42, gives us who is qualified to be registered as a voter. There is a line the AC is not doing the distinction. Line beyond my AC now, yes, our distinction. No? The AC has the power to register voters, but the AC does not have the power to determine who a Ghanaian is.
Okay.
What's your say?
On the basis of youth, because most of the people are about 80 to 60 to 80% youth.
54%.
54.
The population there, the humanity, 54% of the total population.
And youth. Okay. Now voting population about 18 million. Now target is a bit.
If we are going to use the voter population, the voter population now. Now, you new register.
Almost about 18.5.
But if we are going to do a limited registration, we are looking at about 80% to 90% young people writing their name.
Young Professor Jampo, to actually a lot of articles, why research, even watch your book about the role of youth for our elections, and Ghana democracy more in general. Prof, you may good evening.
Good evening.
Prof, but you're somewhere here, dear.
I don't know where.
Yeah, that's a part. Youth, no. Woman, I say a child or man, I say, Omana, or maybe a Dachi. I know Muro, yeah, 2020 elections, free and fair and transparent election. And only baby idea near Busse, Abatoi, Eboko Jojo, Nanto Quebiama. Youth no rope, and it's about family free. So far, at the Fourth Republic, youth no, they are no my year. Now for Yanko 2020, Nakasemu.
Oh, generally, okay, and maybe Ghana, your population, Nankasa, it's about close to 70% young people, and yeah, voting population, and also it's relatively youthful. It's around 65%, between 62 and 65%. I'm also maybe, and it's just about young people in Ghana. In terms of their role, what the role of the youth? It predates the inception of the Fourth Republic. Independence time before independence, and Kwame Nkrumah mobilized young people to fight for independence. After independence, young people, particularly operating under the umbrella of students, they have been in charge of young people. So young people decided say buying decided buying will be kicked out. They will be kicked out. And Osha and Sana Yebedu 1992, the role of the youth in governance and in politics, now a very much pronounced. So no, regime sustenance depended on young people, and agitations and posting coma and all other regimes, young people and share some babetina so and also omobede young before. Now, ye ba 1992 constitution abrasona. Politicians are a major left ban on partisan politics. Politicians are a major fire and say. And Ranchen and Babawa and I said the youth no role no play no ehu and as a pepine be so na yama ye reduce and I see jana or mukrano. And how did they do it? almost call a school poem. What they did was to establish branches of political parties in the various universities and other institutions of higher learning. Until Oba school poem one, you say you were NDC branch or MPP branch, or the idea was simple. Say, you bet shop me, you know, no, and 1992 constitution by no. Nasa you cut a youth GDP anymore. They formed one constituency. What I mean by they formed one constituency and said you can't say or your big one or your big one on your NDC big one on your MPP big one for come boom no more. But in 1992, you buy a constitution for Republican Democratic dispensation. The politicians decided to break the ranks of young people by ensuring that they are effectively politicized. You know, you say NDC for MPP for once you polarize their ranks no. No I say omuni ahodin and you know say more NDC for sorry MPP for so more so sorry account and na say for you know in term be you know I say role as agents that were responsible for bringing into power regimes and also keeping regimes on their toes and then even ousting regimes when necessary. No, that role has been taken away. Now, from 1992, they take away that role. No, I feel near Akobane said, depending on the divide of the political party or belong to, no, you for no, or so they be a fundraising. Political party be FSA always be out on party paraphernalia, party t-shirt, and as for Manchester and Maba and crashing a cotton. In terms of campaign, rally or more Nancy form as full soldiers, not more quiet door-to-door campaign, and as for Manchester and Mabawa and and I say, in Yamabe, just a Basian defend political parties to the hill car. I am ranching in Baba and I say, Nancy Yakoban a new phenomenon, and my description of some of them as social media language. Or more a new rule for new ruler, or more, they are more said. You said that a power ranching in Baba and this social media. Or more motive or motive on a Juma or more defend the political parties. Now, it's said social media is faceless in China. It be no more across the line, na attend me or political opponents. No, Juma and said, dear mom, say, we be casting me na say no political tradition. And I say, no, or margin agree, no must sign, or must start some moody attempt. So they do all these things as their role in now our current democratic dispensation. Another dangerous rule is role play as agents used to foment violent conflict. Into say, your person obini obi kokun tokwa na say to trust them be or na say politicians as say person or medal into trust them. I am ranching in Mabawa and omoko form. Now I the be an and say politician now oko recruit young people so near or more akọ basa no bo say be or no nemba no or the march and them more education papa be we chatikita more akwa abrochire na we afre we recruit nkonforma ankonforma nso a esan say edwuma omunninti omadwemu ayomo hare ye from wa no bi so nti okwa etumi kotu oni okwa etumi enyema basa na omudi etire. They are recruited as agents used by a politician to foment violent conflict. Whilst at the same time, politicians now recruit on the member issue. These are some of the things that they've been doing.
So, Prof, if that is the case, they are not just under force the public youth, you share the young fasobia democracy. The
role of the youth in Fourth Republic in terms of politics has been largely confined to be playing a role as voting machines and vote getters. Never to aba. Ye femcophobia to aba. We don't need influence or monto. Ye femcophobia aje aba to a really vote young people. Ye femcophobia I'm to trust them young people in the culture. Yes, I am na omo di regime eba power eba substantive governance na yes omo ye nkwala omadwen emu ndoye omo nyiye they should bid their time you know I'm not to say you know oman mu no in Africa as a whole no enkwakрафo ne mmerafo nkwa na nyansa ewo mutrim young people yansa na de omo nyansa no is seen as nyansa ya de kontokwa nyansa ya de koye food solidarism nyansa ya de kope votes. But if a young person is wise enough to determine who must lead him there, then he should also be wise enough to be part of substantive governance.
But Prof, Obi Subeka say youth no kakra no almost onya opportunity said na honorable Parado okay or say ono ya fan as DC who were 26 just so fresh, vibrant, it's just a mojamono pa. A few of them a kind of who amusunya opportunity. People will say so omoba. They said they are cast politicians use one even in Abemu. You gusu use one the famous definition. Our President Rollins in mind babies with sharp teeth. The few people are mobile Abemu under President Mahama and President Rollins too. Omudis at 10 years. You bet do attempt. Do we still deserve say yeah any man in a major election? Yeah, man, Melbundi any mobile. And I am more quite because opportunity and ya ya find yet my 10 years. And I said, okay, social media, they record the social media language, a man to see the data. Obed, we will be papa, but do at a matches are there.
Oh, sir, in fact, a few appointments of young people by Professor Mills, no, not a idea, not a say nipa, because me PhD thesis, it was purely on the youth and the need to encourage them to participate in substantive governance. Now, so say, in penning for a memo, I say a dream unintino. So what the abofra young person could dinner penning 18 beer, not as a set or yen home penning some. Well, you know, he wants to young person and KBR on an call for a ball. Will be beer now saying you been see Wakos Kuka Karaman appointment. The next time we trim on the constituency and I saw turn up. For you, no ruin a glass acting not with him. Because when you're Mukudia group near way aquala, it's all your home penny. And you know, if I say in penny, I'm more a sinner. I ingrained in our psyche. You know, a young person who gets appointed, you know, would also want to behave or take on the elderly outlook. And at the other point, making say, a binomo so ye far mono, omonso oman acting in a manner. Na eswe ni te se senia okan baby with sharp teeth na se for ni nyina so ye senia mpenimfo na nkasa eyusu om e de kire se mpenimfo e wo ho e ne afa young persons as part of mpenimfo mo nyina e ka memu na se obi kasa na se ochia mpeni na be kasa se munyae na se abofra no kasa bia enso eni na se da so kasa or that's so cost na can or can. Not just say opinion bi won echi a o se no kutupa and na so for. Nti no emra so I was say mabu no o mo hwe sa de ni ye no mo say ya ye use o mo keke. Ye use o mo wie na so mo koye ne emfata. Ye wie a nia o mo ye na emfata no eno so ba e be disqualify o mo on future young people's, you know, appointment into substantive governance process. And for say internet say one kasa no omusua bibi kakra etiwe hu ani na enkemfo no many young people na to be bia no mu ni adwuma ye na na efia bibi a wuti a wo ye adwuma yi a wunya wo ho adaje obi be fro aka say kona kodidi amanyuni bi atem anase kona koye more social media na kodi nkofo atem anase ko demonstration bia se wunya kwan po na wako esan say you are engaged and you know engaging the young people in productive ventures, you know, it's also a counter-insurgency measure. Adibia obeye just to ensure say omunya adaje po na mo dia koye ni infra until we find profitable engagement avenues and opportunities for them, no, by way of employment. They will be there to be used as agents to foment violent conflict and to wage dirty political war of unscrupulous politicians.
So, Prof, general election, 2020 election, as I say, be trading for more indications that ECDMI. Then I may na den role na yem play na
no they should be responsible there no monye street away sir me no one said say be so akasa na ye sensitize your mo na educate your mo ade ba ko me say wo kan ye ta twi your mo ne say politician na wo kodi na chi ekodi etutra sem no me ba eka ho ni nia bi eka ho ana na wo paase bi eka ho se uko ni ese kona ko CV ballot boxer Mr. Sir and so ballot boxer me ko CV se ba se yeshutu mi a politician ne ba bi eka ho ana enti no se politicians emfa omomba entingwa abontin ko demonstration na se omomba be ko schools apapa omomba be da ka apapa omomba no ebe kokọ ebe tenesa broche ene na wo obebu no won so politician mba no onye nipa ensen wo nke se wo hia nyansa na wo so ma weni da ho na wo ma obi protect ne mba no mfa wo nkoye ade enkogu street mu se koye na sebe ye operadi ba wona obaje na ono no ne ba ne ye de o ma form tototo enhia saa nyansa no se ne be ya if we are being deployed say yenkoye regardless of the fact that mranche ne maba wa bebre eni edwuma ye no omo nhia saa de ne say so be back to deploy so omo ko di klasem a and so say omo di omo ho ekọ because the moment eno in aka ho ntina mranche ne maba wa they occupy a very low status in our social structure. And so ya na man okwan na ye ma obi ade e bi enti in the lead up to elections no ye meka no say they should be responsible citizens. Say e ba say okoto aba ma politicians come e ba say if you support the party bin tro be bo omo e ma o ma campaign na o campaign peacefully and one no if you trust somebody and say ye obi a chefa
prof ma na wase anwumere baby ade ye mmompa ye say ye koye nim ne ye analysis na e be hu sampa de wakan e na mabu no ye because say de wakan adwuma de sebe nkwase adwuma no na emrante na ba ye ene maba wan e bedu si ye che post no ne a cha market fo no so afeni e be ka cho brofa kese ne qualification nti ye mmompa ye say going for youth ni ye sua ye lesson ye mo obi me use ye so ko didi atenko bu we ko ye say wo be kwa aba no wawu na wo kwa asamado na politician ne ne yire ne ba o mu di cash na ma wo prof ya na wase ne
me da if you na earlier no say na me say na o kan so person hwe ade nko for MPP for announcement of list dia
primaries no na uni abemo priado so e bi nsi when this muti wo kra na I think so betimi am my history no omo say so omo dia eduabo ama party ni kra ya omo adwen say wa obodua bia automatic suspension ye musa o kra ya suspend o but priado so ka say NDC dia eduabo dia omo say omo dia omo ya abofo kra bi nsi da in NDC
the abon na se for na de se Christo ne de se men so meni njo na mom kakra me pese ye ti ase ne se say problem kakra o ho ye ka ke bi ma men ke bi amemwo mu a na se democracy a say in the history of Ghana's politics ye political history no ye ya ko ye se ya ka e wo humemu bebre na has been research say as a dankwa buzia dombo tradition I'm so much democracy as a papa and all other traditions but and never be a also say as a kofobi or how you protect you from on the post it's not democratic. Minim I don't know any reason why you be protecting kofobi so more there and so on the post and any democracy it's completely it has no democratic basis at the church. So you see, the idea of representation, no, a cafe, only pana or parliament, and he is going to serve the interests of constituents. And you know, you're more see on the baby side who should go and who shouldn't go. And your political party and now alternate headquarters and now say we am on the put and I say we am contesting it's and yes, but na and come for no me the blame being so about your regulators of political parties. Unfortunately for us, since 1992, electoral commissions are confined. Electoral commission election any voter registration a year. 20% pay. 20% of the job of electoral commission and the voter registration and voting. Conduct election 20%. Electoral commission, back 82 say they regulate political parties to ensure that the activities of political parties, are in sync with democratic tenets. Internal democratic practices of political parties, as the Electoral Commission has said this on measure the political parties, operate in a manner that makes them democratic. Now, one year democratic at your party level, and yet the two Michelle the idea is that when you're to me, then you cannot promote expand the frontiers of democracy in the country. And so we can say Obia Budianti and suspending her. Then it means you are saying, say, oh, to me, now say Obi a cast, Obi criticize here, now say Obi can't say me a winning to when you look at the Bia Yankan is Sukra in your mind. And the Electoral Commission for a Juma say, or more regulatory political parties to ensure that any maybe or more violating democratic principles or no, or more than or moon to me. Electoral Commission, the Juma said, or more best ensure political education. There be a kind of education, yes, NCC before nay. Constitution, they are studied to Electoral Commission for some more educated citizenry, especially about issues of voting and issues of politics. Your merge or your medjuma, and as I your medjuma, so ensure the political parties, or musika some. Sikasam de bi omudi sike free bar de bi as some register be as some register omo be accountable to the Electoral Commission then e be ya nkofo ntumi na buchi na omo be hijack a democratic process simply because they fund political parties in Ghana. We know ya na ye nema as Electoral Commission here, but unfortunately since 1992 Electoral Commission be aba omo de titiri omo hwa na say ye be voter registration e be conduct election in kaino na so mato na saram. The Electoral Commission into me yes edwuma I think say as a say oman ye dwen na ye yisa other functions no responsibilities no if see ye gifi nsem ye de come another independent body there make me regulate the effective function of political parties name the Electoral Commission for now omonye in charge of the voter registration and the conduct of elections.
Not just a profit party said the Akos MPP and democratic.
No, to find I thought Matisse a bit more why I disqualify Papa Catchem say police in it on so and on so. One more disqualify you or what I just said. Can I decided to be disqualified until I disqualify. Well, until there is so much of a binum so why I protect your so much your monko on the post.
Okay.
It violates the concept of representation. Now, representation also one key concept, principle of democratic rule.
Okay.
Well, and near question say a binum on the post, nothing for no and until I might be no one to one say or more so aided. And democratic. Now, more money on one say no. We two who said the idea of representation is about the constituent. It's not about the political party. Into Obiso say decision be taken or may take decision at the constituency level. Na say nini enje na of course say on one kasa na research na nkita ho die mu no of course say enkofo na e constituency no for say onu na or what it takes to serve their interest well. He can go on the post or he can go as an independent candidate. After all, omo and the omo call on the post. A binomo a break away call independent. Omo call independent. We almost have a join a party no. And we see and then so Obi of course say he has what it takes to win the mandate of the people at the constituency level. Of course, he can go as an independent candidate. Na say no ever na say seat then they would learn say in terms of representation yen two MPs ni na for say omukwa yo badwuma yie say na be ya constituent no ankasa be kase wo de obi ayam contest so ya na de oba ya na na person say on the post. The decision to go on the post must be decided by the constituent and not by the political party.
Okay. I think, Prof, the point is very well known because that is the bone of contention. Delegates, constituency for one to say, oh, we are Juma, Yamobian contest, so and your party for our headquarters. And
no, if you are the NCR, your mining team show every member of parliament, and Nedjuman say, Obe Lobina, Obe 7 and call for no well. It is a mere MP on Fantamana. na me lobby ama project akọ me constituency no well say the be yakọ bedum pon won so kwabre konfo wo ye MP wo constituency a wo so lobby project now they akọ nti wo constituency develop me constituency develop on so constituency develop na at the end of the day no o man ni na develop na nia ebinum akọ ne say omo you have the 2 minimum a omo develop am constituency. They don't have any link with their constituents. They go to excel on the floor of parliament. Parliament. It's say parliament, senior parliament, parliament. You are not a representative of parliament. You are a representative of your constituency.
Okay.
And you call nothing. Who did in our parliament? Nothing. We constituency. What we are alien. They have the right to recall you, but they have the right to say, and cobium. Young guy say, and call for a fellow parliament in tea. Yemo Monko, not from constituency, constituency for no, and democracy. It undermines the principles of political representation. Number 4 say, in MPP for Obunimudi, and Tino Wunimudia won't say, yeah, idea cost on the men say, what democracy at the grassroots.
Prof, Mamma was here, you may. So I say, what dad, you know, the Sanchez, me, Edibia Domi, Yadas, you. Professor Jampo, HRD, University of Ghana, Legon, and Nature Commodium say, youth, no, and I said the honorable Opayado Cayeno. Ye can Ghana, Dudua Memo and the Fourth Republic here. Youth, no, like a baby, a basso pa, so Yajuma baby, and a dear baby, and that may and yet, they allow your home you see and saying, now, Yamna, council. Na ye can a youth no any more than I bought a democracy more and the Fourth Republic there. Professor Jampo can who say and Sunday I call MPP bits and all the Belmono.
And I'm D can say we cannot yes mean discount the role that you have played. There are negatives, there are positives. I mean GDP say positives a dorsal negatives. So we'll continue to
NDC and MPP. Why no way you to know wrongly? Abuse you or my use to my mom opponent propaganda
it comes back to the history of political violence in this country. Now NMD can unfortunately there is nobody here from the NPP. But if you've been a reporter for some time, you've covered at least from 2000 your voice has been on radio, if I'm not mistaken. What cover political activities be brave. Sometimes we should be bold enough to tell ourselves the truth. In case ye NDC, ye need an ABB also. But it is more prevalent in the NPP, political violence. And Akufo-Addo Ankasa, he's a direct beneficiary of political violence. Because
violence there, it because under President Kufuor, almost easy toilet in there.
If you my baby easy toilet, my pamo. People don't get maimed. And then I count. To the extent
that it's an act of violence. Because I am
so let's shed the fact of people going out of their way on political decisions. Say, you're vetting and it is a vetting disqualifying. What is Obiakoko? As I speak to you,
NDC Obianko.
What is Obiakoko?
Do you abone at the NDC BNC or more?
Constituency bay.
Oh, when this into I want to remember some.
We just finished parliamentary primaries in area.
No, and yet now so where there more opposition.
Oh, but even when we're in government.
Yeah, but honorable the trend is that more opposition under pressure new so.
Under President Akufo-Addo in opposition. You Upper East Regional Chairman. Under President Akufo-Addo Ashanti region. Violence occurs within the NPP.
Na NDC ni ya kobo de kunu okumasi de ade che na ni moje gu ho no mi
yeah be
this last year NDC
shooting incident there
shooting incident no na muni opposition
oh we are but that shooting incident that happened in Ashanti region
yes na ya NDC
and I'm saying that shooting incident that it has links to that shooting there course so ewo as no you kukun in branches so
it has nothing to do with the NDC.
It happened at our party office. But it had nothing. It had nothing to do with Asaswase elections. There was nothing like that. And I'm saying in Branch here, they had their own issues. Unfortunately, The guy was murdered at our party office because he was at a party office when the assailants came. And there was no party issues there. Party 4 and Akukumobi. Young men who have engaged in their own issues. And so let's not put the two together. The two exactly.
How about the questions that E.T. Mensah raised here? E.T. Mensah raised here and Ningo Pram Gidi of course to say.
And I'm saying,
they practically wrestled the consensus from him.
He went for an election and lost. That some judge go and assault E.T. Mensah.
Some judge they want to find Sankano.
No, E.T. Mensah, Obibo E.T. Mensah, and I want to see a bonus support the people. Nothing like that happened. So what's your say?
In the NDC primaries, Bia, my yen, 100%. Ashama, Obaka Ashama, Agbesi nyale primaries. Omo the white powder begu esi ebo duane ade.
Did anybody?
Yeah, somebody even died more. They were construing it to be fair. Is related.
Say Ashama parliamentary primaries. Nipa na no ba contesting no wu ye.
Before that the previous primaries before.
Efia.
Oh, Agbesi
in the history of this country. Efia. Unim dankwa buzia for a history. This issue is non-debatable when it comes to political violence. But everybody knows from Nkrumah time what the Dankwa Buzia stands for.
Dankwa Buzia standing for the
violence. It's non-debatable.
Oh.
Non-debatable.
According to which record?
He saw the but Abakosma Abekai. Kofi that one near the bunker for team that didn't happen in this country. Asante Ready. At a point in time, now Asante Ready no go area Dr. Nkrumah.
And it's because of Buzia Dankwa.
But there were the people who were train bombs all over. Jake Papa was convicted by a Kufuado Papa.
Properly convicted.
Wrongly convicted. Properly convicted by a court for a conspiracy against Nkrumah to eliminate Nkrumah. And also so their history they can't run away from. Political violence.
For election violence.
Oh, and I make us if you are an organization and Nipa woman there. Is he on? Is he can't say Adena? About MPP, they also their history makes them violent. But I am only saying President Kufuado. On one kasa, he's a beneficiary of political violence.
How? Kumi Prekundi, it was based on principle.
And you Kumi Prekunkwa, also Kumi Prekunkwa, say a CDR for no problem. But even when he was MP. Former vice chairman Alaji under the watch of President Kufuado. Everybody who knows Kufuado's political history cannot and say he's not a beneficiary of political violence. But the man himself has chanted all that. He could be
a collateral beneficiary.
If he is just a collateral, and I'm saying under his watch as president, read the Emil Short Commission's report.
Okay.
He's issued a white paper. Double no more see and punish somebody now. Or say there be 1 year Bolivia. Acquire your boss, I'm George Asumi, or see on Konya Bolivia. That is what the white paper from the president tells you. What does that tell you?
Okay.
That Onihubi on a small meeting away free or as simple as ABC. And yes, Anka, yeah, president carry political violence. But Tris Anko for no maso. No big cry as so one day. Uncle D said to trust me. But what happened? So we Uncle free.
Into your call into a main election, youth here, Obo Mudini issues in
yeah, that is what I'm saying. There is a limit to anybody's patience. Right? We have held the young men in the NDC back for some time. But the man huna. Yeah, man, the MP before you. Now, will not be subjected or be intimidated by someone near man no more.
You as the leader of the NDC youth, no be more
and I'm saying, if you under the last 2 years that I've become youth leader, we have comported ourselves, we've held back. Yet not less than 4 demonstrations in Accra. And demonstrations, one of the but you see, there is a limit to what any man can hold back.
What's the meaning of that?
It's very simple. Say, try to suppress you. Let me breed for demonstration. I can't breed demonstration here because of America. You know how many blacks have been killed?
Yeah.
So many. It took only one incident. Yeah. And our sparkets are trouble. And I make us say, for us as the NDC, we are a peace-loving political party. You worry, say, the state institutions now, they will work. infiltrations now cost within the police in Nema, ye PNP before boys all over. Odu Bonoa, BNI director, youth organizer, BNI so attack. The Nakoshi BNI. Wait, under the NPP. If those people are who during the Ayawasuba elections, those tags, if we see them, if there is a year registration, limited registration, because the Nimpao said the AC cannot go ahead and do this registration.
Also, a general registration.
They can't do it. So they can't do it.
Stop you legally,
but we are in court, and we believe that the courts will do the needful. And so yeah, he said they are a limited registration, and they're there on the 7th of December, But we are cautioning them, say we will not be intimidated by some boys.
So, be intimidated. I don't know what you describe as intimidation. So,
intimidation is what we saw. Brand champion boys now deploy mobile as well as we got, and they have to trust them. No, be committee's report they capture on the right.
Okay,
that is an act of intimidation.
NDC youth.
We will defend the ballot at the peril of
which means the mobile boom.
And I'm as a legal person here, I have stated that we will defend the ballot.
It's in account of me, no.
And we will defend the ballot. If you and I, the Constitution mandates us, Article 3 of the Constitution mandates us to protect the Constitution from it being subverted. Until so bia na ebe undermine ana ebe ma constitution in pieces no ebe touch ma, we will protect the constitution, we will defend the ballots. Your duty say we will see to it that free and fair elections are conducted in this country. And that
Electoral Commission for
political parties have a duty to agents or police stations on them. The Political Parties Act appreciates and recognizes say you will role to play as a political party, and you cannot have free and fair elections when the referee in these elections is compromised. Bosman Asari, not a TESCON patron, University of Ghana, and then Nababedi
also a TESCON patron. I don't know that.
I am telling Bosman Asari was TESCON patron. You're a journalist. Can double check it.
Oh no, see, the Biamuya, not journalist.
So double check. Double check. And I make catch us say Bosman Asari was the TESCON patron. Then they work as a Green Book he was him. Green Book he means signing brel. Green Book he means signing brel. They say Bosman Asari was the TESCON patron.
The card no ID card no.
Afia. So all you have me say he was a TESCON patron and attended TESCON meetings at the University of Ghana campus.
In the video here, I just not TESCON meetings.
If you how many 10 meetings and about and I am telling you about when I was in Legon.
You are making a serious allegation.
I was in Bossman Asare. Or your TESCON patron.
I dissociate myself from the
do so, but don't take me on legally. Don't take me on legally. But you know a TESCON.
What can you go? If you come and I'll take you on.
You have disassociated yourself, my boy. I disassociate okayfm from South State 20. But Mr. Bosman Asari, not a TESCON patron, University of Ghana. But his colleague lecturers are there.
Only proof.
Oh, mini proof. At Manko Legon. I was a student of University of Ghana.
But the fact that you went to Legon, it doesn't mean that you're
yeah, you know what you don't know. Some year who know me roommate to University of Ghana. Come out. Martin James Akosa. Many in the Fiat Smata School, I'm in by University of Ghana. I know me almost TESCON meetings are no more. Bosman Asari. Or your TESCON.
But in any case,
you're the patron of TESCON.
TESCON meeting. Evil.
And you're evil. So,
meeting.
as I mean, NDC, may even publicly say NDC. He was a patron. The integrity of the Electoral Commission.
Or for reset purposes.
Reset. Everybody votes.
Maybe only baby and minimum first. Me who know MPP Congress I say. In full MPP colors. Meanwhile, it turns out Oyeme was a businessman. Because later, me who Oyeme in NDC Congress as well. So if he's playing you, where they
the integrity of the Electoral Commission. Right? Obia, yes,
it doesn't mean somewhere commission I want to about.
Yes, say, Afia.
Or you don't have political
you can have. I'd say Supreme Court. Judges here, you appoint your me. You didn't be political affiliations. And now say, any crime. There is no crime in that respect. But you see, say, I appointed to CJ. Now, for instance, in himself, who belonging to even CJ cry extreme. For Electoral Commission because a independent commissioner. Also, General Fifi. Yeah, I tell you, in a trouble. But imagine Ochranopa. Now, President Mahama Babi, the president, no appointing me, George Pariado, a non NDC person as the Electoral Commission. Have they not compromised the Electoral Commission?
Yes.
Even though ABI they are me, men I'm not quite so. But say be a bit true to me, so it works because maybe I am already tainted. President Akufo-Addo could have saved Ghana and all of us. There were other equally qualified people, Obia Tuaba, but who had publicly not shown their political colors.
Okay.
Bosman Asari is not safe. Even his all chances as electoral commissioner against the NDC. That the NDC is a threat to the democracy of Ghana. Referee. Yes, by the day. Oh, fresh IPAC meeting. Now, my 2 hours notice.
Article 42. The Constitution say Electoral Commission and about
42. 42 natural say 42 defines
the electoral
people who are qualified
to be
votes.
Fine.
To register. 45. The my Electoral Commission to me. So never
Electoral Commission for what said to me.
We have never disputed that. But you see, Electoral Commission ain't said 2 minutes of like I say, oh you Ghana, no you Ghana. Electoral Commission doesn't have that. Birth and death certificates. Omna imra. The same act they set up Electoral Commission. That same act of Parliament, no. Emo to me say omo and identify say ya wo fofra. The only identification at birth, or birth certificate. Or primary document or the issue Ghana card. Or primary document or the issue passports. A birth certificate. Okay. Yet you don't find it prudent as an electoral commissioner.
So be you
Ghana card. Okay. A birth certificate. Where is the logic in this?
Okay, and the matter is in court.
And then to even the voter register. But I've gone through. I don't want to comment because the matter is before. But I've read my kind response now. Adabraka. Ghana, we are in trouble.
You cancel the emphasis. Yeah, that was it. National Youth Organizer, NDC, Amanyoko, Honorable Payado, former DC or a lawyer, Cassia, no, never boy. I mean, I heard the role of the youth. I was so COVID. Was sharing mask. It was for a time now, so it will be a stroke COVID. And to be a new one, crime, and I'm DB from his own. As I can say, come out so here live. okayfm facility pro for near camp for more COVID abbey. Almost so out into almost a bra. Nabamo, a bebo, pano, mespray, ufie. I sorry for a more share coins and baby, sorry next week. Now, or me fumigate to a disinfectant. I saw in Yinamam and Conyano puppet, no, dear, your BBR said about waiting me. I sorry clean, ufie, or warehouse, or school, damn, JHS near there. One baby, you must have fixed CCTV camera. BBR, the Amawa, just a COVID security, unso, onama, D and alcohol. Facility Pro, and you can form more telephone number near Ubetimia Frel, or Monano, Manyankitan, dear no, my baby, at the Ama 026 792 9999 026 792 9999. Busha for Madama. And I did Egyaso Gyaso, my messages in the arcade, and I say, Major near the Nyumpa, and ye behunina a day, Amamu Emmanuel do. Was if John Mahama said, when it comes to violence, there no political party can match NDC. It's the Parado can or Jano, Mamma Tune from Engu and him, Opoko Bedia call guessing. Was it more power to you if you and then what Busa questions are all my dream in Mamma Raffle, Phantom, was you see, one more moody political ideology for Wayne. Fuseni Salifu, Kaswa Zungo, and I say I'm enjoying the show from a Yekaswa. Hamidu Yakubu Nasivim lady, your argument is baseless. The president, as if he doesn't know Bisman from Tescon. I mean, way in a city, better. Michael Mario, no, wait there. If you have Musa questions, to Asumukra. Senior Prince, or see if you, I think the professor has educated all of us already. Obian coffee because of Parado Nyado can't say Pepe be a baboying. Robin Buampon Pesu was a more Vim lady and somehow Busanina good and a coffee cum was it. I'm just sick and tired of hearing NDC MPP de Bia and Tokosea Nombecon and Sonia don't bear the Pepe Bia at the Amagana for Seidu Shaibu. Was it Mafia? My advice to Ghanaian youth, they say, more money now, pa, moment time a party be another omu, and Momuko Ebasa and Kofa and Tokobia. A child go man or say no. A mabun de yen to me more coin and more mume a D in penny for so Ghana dear. as a wickedness ye ni future thinkers bia wo man yimu Haj Hamdina Chidi was say on the O224 for yami nyina now abetentry obapa abeta say if you amitiemu pa from London good discussion and then they am no therapy Ghana was say NDC is far better than NDC or say NDC is far better than MPP and ya do be abeti me agista same way chi ye hu omoda ya Bennett no say my big sister if you am show live ewo kaswa ZP munkoso na munye adwuma no pa ma kwasi upon rule was gender activists and feminists for no where are they the threats on Jemensa ne ade na mu ana mu de moyi mani ana opayado abetena no hunu mama sa girlfriend na Edusi Poku no say fia that guy knows how to lie pa opayado jano ntronko na odi ra na melekoi no say efia opayado pa de no woman kwan yo and wakeka nsem a ennimu on stop no so Governor na Edusi Poku and the way say buy no see rara was it too much confidence vim oye adwuma panana koku was he till live adenta obisi referee ni de adwuma so any enuti and ye kamfo the oye na enye no was he kan say about referee no elections mu no obetimi asesa na adwin kra nana kwadwo okre o the message about ebusi afenfesi anum say DJ Flesh e de nyom papa and or the better so ama utie ya yeda say so we join here live okay 101.7 FM Gyaso Jumedi Nyankopon ya adema Wednesday ye besa to aso e de ama se da kese ye mfama production team o mota eche a de bi o mo boy ye me de Jumedi no ebro ye nu abema Isaac Osodiomi and a lead production head and Odamiado and so edi na chi Kojo Hansen e sound engineer and my friend man e twa etum social media e mo obi ehun de ekoso nina asada kese mfama ye bo afo ye endpoint homeopathy and facility pro for mo boy total trusty we driver ni abomode aso do be shem insurance dem afia chewa chede bebre insurance kra the Ghana government kwa nyam bi ma on total trusty and mo de ama Pedro no so bibia dem correct ya de abekwa akoto petrol ama obi asisi ya fra me Afia Pokuaa Yakopon ya adma next week ye beto so e de ama nwume de ye dem ase ama munyina mo anywhere se mo hwe live okay 101.7 FM ade seda kese nko ema obi a ye no ama DJ Flesh ene enyo papa what is you out to say yes song after song na ni nyina so ne dedicate e de ama enu abema Kojo Wiafe abusuafo se ye ka nyina no ye hye ready ye hye tuntum ye ye e de ma abusuafo ye mom nyina ya akọ ne shedding adwuma de e wo se ye nti ene ye nyesa ke so ama ye tikra ate e de ma se ye ma nyina mo ene hwe mo kompa ebo a mabobi e de ama enu abema no ene abusuafo no nyina e de ma se